Hello, Adobe Live. Lucas O'Keefe here, and I'm joined by Katrina Torrijos.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
And we have an exciting video-themed day for you today, a long day of multiple streams, and we are really just getting into sharing the new TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on in Adobe Express. So many things that you can finally do to, master this short-form video craze that has been taking the world by storm these last few years, but really just excited to be able to incorporate the TikTok commercial music library into our content. I don't know about you, but when I've been trying to create my content, especially as a business owner, making sure that I'm able to use that music, able to use that audio in my video has, just been my biggest fear in the past.
So for sure.
Now having access to this to be able to make sure it's good to go has just been a lifesaver, which is awesome. So we'll be doing multiple different streams on video, largely around TikTok and short form video today. We'll get the schedule to share with you. Katrina and I will be talking about crafting an aesthetic travel vlog, which I'm pumped for. You do travel quite a bit.
I do, yeah.
After that, we have a day in my life vlog using Adobe Express with Brittney and Katrina as well. I'll be back at 11 a.m. Pacific time for converting long-form content like a pro. I'm going to be diving into some podcast content.
Ooh.
How you can take the long stuff, usually on YouTube or podcast, and turn it into TikTok style videos, which is great. And last, we have TikTok promo made easy with Emma and Elle as well. So a pretty action-packed day. Yeah. But let's get into what we're chatting about. I know while we're featuring and sharing the TikTok Symphony Assistant, due to some commercial and trademark rules with YouTube, we actually won't be able to share and show the music. But we have, again, a full loaded video roster here. So what are we talking about today, Katrina?
We are doing an aesthetic travel vlog. So as an evangelist, I do travel to a lot of different places for events. I just saw you in Toronto like a month ago.
And now we're in San Francisco.
I know. And so now how I commemorate all these vlogs and all the people that I meet and just showcasing the community, I like to do these travel vlogs. But this one actually was something I did on vacation. Your girl finally took PTO since the holidays. So I haven't posted anything about this trip yet on my Instagram. So I thought it'd be a great time to do this. But before we get into this video, let's talk a little bit about the TikTok Symphony Assistant. Yes. I know we have a video and what some of the features that it can do.
Yeah, let's roll out that video and take a look.
Yeah.
While you're watching, if you want to tune in from the comments, let us know where you're joining from. Let us know where you last traveled to, keeping it on theme with travel. But yes, we do have this demo video that's really going to show the action-packed highlights that this Symphony Assistant can share for us, which is awesome.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh, let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call his new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wallet.
I'm also just loving those text effects on screen there, being incorporated with the animations and being able to just, bring everything Adobe Express has into this.
Yeah. So as you can all see, the TikTok assistant can really be your sidekick in creating your TikTok videos, from the research part, brainstorming, scripting, and now even having music. So you can really get a lot done with the TikTok Symphony Assistant. Now, and if you haven't added the add-on to your Adobe Express yet, you just have to click the add-ons tab. And then going back a page here, you can, if it's not on your front page, it should be the first one, or you can type in TikTok and it will pop up here. And then you just have to click on it and then add it, install it. It should be down here. It'll say add if you haven't added it yet. And then, you'll be able to use it right away. So that's a bit about the TikTok Symphony Assistant. Now let's get on with the project. Okay, so I kind of went ahead here and kind of started the clip. So here's what we're working with. It's not done yet. This is my best friend Clarence. We went on this trip to New York together. It was his first time, and it was nice. It was cool. Met up with some coworkers. If y'all know Jordan Danae Ellis, she was there, as well as Esteban Toro. We all hung out, and it was great. And yeah, so these are the clips. I love it.
I love even just the timeline at the bottom there, like the different like breaking up of color too. Like you got those, what were those tulips mixed in there, those roses, those plants mixed in there.
You give me so much credit, Lucas.
No, like I don't know. I'm one of those people who finds there's something beautiful about a timeline, and it's just like seeing the patternization of it is very nice.
No, you are kind of onto something, because I was a bit strategic with the clips placement. So I have like a scenery, and then some people, and then more scenery, and then these two are kind of related, you know, like both outdoor scenes, put it together. And then we have me over here, another a person clip, and then more city stuff, because this was like in the downtown. This was in like Brooklyn and in the subway, and then more city stuff here. And then, so if you're brand new to editing video in Adobe Express, I'll just go over the basics a little bit. Let me just shrink the timeline a little bit. So
and what you're highlighting is so good for visual storytelling in short form video right now, especially on TikTok. It's breaking up the scenes. I can see at the bottom there, what are we looking at? About 3 seconds per scene before it's splitting, which I love to do as well. Don't keep people watching the same thing for too long.
Especially on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
maybe YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
But TikTok.
Right. Knowing the different formats is huge. Knowing the different platforms and how an audience on one social media platform can be very different from an audience on another. And that's why I love the Symphony Assistant for really just diving into doing what TikTok needs on TikTok.
Exactly. I love how you put that. Okay, so if you're brand new to editing video, to add scenes or clips to your timeline, just click on this add scene right here, and you have a blank canvas. Now from there, you have a couple different options. You can upload your own footage, photos, whatever, or you can select from the Adobe stock collection, which includes photos, videos, and audio, which all commercially safe to use, which is great if you're a business owner. So you don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. But I'm going to slide over my window here, and I do have some clips that I need to add. So I'm just gonna pop in this one. You can drag and drop your clips, and then it'll just go into the timeline like that. So that's personally my favorite way of uploading. Some people like to do like click the buttons, which is fine, all good. And then right away, we're just going to mute this clip so that I don't
always forget to do that.
Blast your ears. I always get so shocked because the volume on Adobe Express, it like really goes in, you know? I'm like, oh.
Especially live streaming too. We don't want to blast people. I always like the first thing I was like, yep, let's tone it down.
Yeah.
We have Jeff asking about the border effect you had. Are you going to get to that?
Yes. So that'll be the next thing. So that's how you add a single clip. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is how I do the split screen effect, which is really cool. If you have, let's say you shoot everything in horizontal, if you still want to use those clips, some people do like the 3 clips like side by sides and stuff. So from there, I'm going to just add a scene and then go to grids. And then personally, I use like the 2-cell horizontal layout or the 3-cell one, which is totally fine, but you just pop that in. And then from there, to stretch it to the entire canvas, just hit set page as background, and then now you have it as a full screen.
Would you believe I had no idea you could use grids with video?
What?
I've been using them for my like carousel posts. I've been using them for my static content.
You're lying.
I did not know grids were video, so this is awesome.
Yeah, and then from there, I'm just gonna take my 2 horizontal clips and just pop it in. So I don't know if you could see this. I can't really zoom in, but you can see that the square is highlighted wherever I drag it to. So that's how you know it's going to go into one of these cells. So you just put it in like that, and then you put that in right there.
I like that so much more than like squeezing in, like really, you know, cutting it off with the boundary lines. That's awesome. I see Heather asking a very important question about the add-on. So right now, the TikTok Symphony Assistant is only on desktop Adobe Express. Thank you for reminding me to throw that in there.
Yes, just on desktop for now. So yeah, these are the clips, and then when I play them back, now they play at the same time. Woo!
Wow.
Okay, and then we saw that this clip is a little bit shorter, which is fine, because then you can easily just trim. Is that the right word? Trim the clip down to the shortest clip.
And again, it's very cool with Adobe Express how many different options you have for features and tools. You mentioned some people like to upload with a button. Some people like to upload by just dragging and dropping. Sometimes I like to trim. Sometimes I will right click and split.
Yeah.
It's about trying it out and finding out the way you want to get your workflow done.
Yeah. Sometimes I use the keyboard shortcut, the S.
See, I haven't even gotten into that world yet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have the clips, and then you can just click and drag and reorder them however you want. So again, it's super easy to use. And if you click on an element, the layer timing over here will pop up. And the reason for this is so, like, let's click on this border thing. It'll show the individual, each individual layer as its own track on the timeline. And then you'll be able to make edits like that.
Makes it super easy for putting like, overlays on top, elements like you have here, but also like text flying in. I love it.
Right. Okay, cool. So, so there's two paths we could take here. We can add our text, our title sequence right now, or we can go into this thing.
I know someone asked a question. So Jeff asked about how you got that border. So let's go with the border first.
Okay, we're gonna go the border first.
And I also love the border. That would as a viewer, that would capture my attention right away.
Nice.
Just seeing that pop up.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the vision I was going here for, more of like a film, like cinematic look, retro style.
Yeah.
So this is actually just a shape. It's a rectangle. Border thickness 7.
Wait, you made this?
It's just a shape.
Oh, I thought this was like an element that we would have found. No way.
The part that's really cool, get ready, okay? The play, I don't know if you see the text. Let me zoom in here, sorry. The play, the chapter 2, all this text, right?
Yep.
This is a stock video.
No way.
Yeah, so basically, the cool thing about the Adobe stock video library is that sometimes they do have like video overlays. And I'm going to use a couple today. So just go into media, or actually you can go into media and search this, but if you're ever in a template and you see like an element that you really like, go to source info and it'll tell you the name of it. So that you can go back to it. So this is called Vintage VHS. So let's say I'm in a new project and I want to look for it. Just go on the video tab, Vintage VHS, and it's actually this right here.
Oh, okay. So does that tells me that I can easily kind of do it as an overlay, remove anything I need from it?
So this is how you do it. So I'm just going to copy this and then go on to the next scene, right? Oh, it's already there. I
guess we have that brand new
Did
one.
I have it already there? Oh my gosh, it was already here. Anyways, so basically what I did, let's get rid of this. Okay, pretend it's not there. You didn't see it. Okay, so this is the video, right? Basically, you just put it in here, and then you change the blend mode to screen, and that's how you get rid of the...
That is the tip of the day right there. That is amazing.
And you can do it with like a couple different overlays if you look them up in what's it called, the stock library. And so if you're new to the blend modes, I can't explain this in the most technical way, but basically when you use the screen blend mode, it gets rid of the darker colors and then it keeps the lightest colors on the screen. And then versus like multiply, it does the opposite. So let's take this, and then if I change this to multiply, I'm explaining this in the worst.
No, Jeff is capturing my reaction too. Mind blown. Oh my gosh. I hope you can see it in my face. My mind is blown.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have an hour before my session. I'm gonna go play around with these features myself.
But yeah, so with multiply, you can see it kept the black, but it blended the white text.
Very cool.
So think of it like that in the most non-technical way possible. But yeah, so that's how I was able to do the border, the rectangle, and then this is a stock video. And if you want to use the same one, Vintage VHS is what you look for in the media tab.
And we're seeing a lot of these trends of like the throwback kind of retro in content on TikTok in particular. I'm seeing a lot of like the Y2K stuff where it's really like the on-screen elements from that are really coming back, the old vintage camera. So I love that.
Cool. Okay, so next we're going to add in a title here. We need a catchy title. We're going to call this Summer in NYC. And let me know what you think about this trend. But I've been seeing a lot of titles be like mixed, matched fonts.
Oh yes, I have seen that too.
Right?
Where like the first line will be one font, the second line will be
Yes.
another. Yes, I like it personally.
That is super on trend right now. I don't know what it is. It's quirky.
I think it goes with the like grab them in the first 2 to 3 seconds, right? And if I'm trying to analyze, whoa, what are the, sometimes it's even like strategic and like, what do those fonts say? I'm trying to read them.
Yeah.
And that grabs my attention for just that little bit longer. That gets me watching. But I personally love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Have you also noticed that a lot of folks have been using yellow colored text?
Yes, I have. That's the good like attention grabbing color right there, right?
Yeah. It's very film. Let us know in chat, like, what is your, like, filming signature quirk? Like, what are some elements that you like to use and incorporate in your vlogs if you make them?
Or even as a viewer, what grabs your attention too?
That
Like,
too.
for me, it is like the animations coming on screen right away. I like to incorporate a mixture. I call it that 1-2 punch of attention grabbing of like the title on screen like you're showing right now. And then also like the supporting captions for what the speaker is saying, if there is a speaker in the video. I find accessibility is very important. It's also important to also grab people's attention at the same time.
Nice. Okay, so we're just going to look at some fonts. Let's do, how do you say this? Calligraphic?
I always I love the recommendations like because I find I struggle to find like I can't pick or decide on one aesthetic font. I'm always just like, I like this one. I like this one too.
Favorites.
I like this one as well. So it's very difficult for me to narrow it down.
Yeah?
So
You don't
I'm
have a
impressed.
favorite font?
Let me think about that.
I do like looking at the recommendations too. Sometimes they're very quirky. Like this one, I would have never found on my own.
I do like the pixel video game style ones. So I gotta go. Like when I do a lot of my content, I'm usually going with like the pixel style.
I like this one.
That's very cool. And for anybody tuning in right now, we are using the TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on or talking about it as well and introducing it with a big full packed day of TikTok and short form video oriented live streams.
Nice. I'm gonna do the trendy yellow.
There's the yellow. It also looks really good with that background.
It definitely
too, like,
pops.
with
It does
the
give
sky
some.
blue. Yeah. Where is that bridge in New York? What are we looking at?
This is the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
I think. Oh my gosh.
They have many bridges, don't they?
Yes. I really hope this is the Brooklyn Bridge. If it's not, it might be the Williamsburg one. I don't know.
If you know your architecture, or even better, if you're from New York, let us know in the
I
comments.
am not from
in the
New
chat.
York. I just love to visit. It was my 4th time there.
Oh wow.
It was crazy. I've never, prior to this job working at Adobe, I've never been in New York. So it's been super fun.
Jeff is saying, I love the organic over digital look in terms of the trending style that they like. I love taking new digital assets and adding some grain and grit. I have been finding that too, like textures on top of things have been so nice, especially even like posters, making posters look nice and vintage. We're seeing the nice vintage film style in this. I love it too.
Yes. And I'm just shrinking my timeline, so. Cool. Okay, so this is looking good. Do you like to use text? And I don't know if you vlog. Do you vlog?
I like to do storytelling. So
Okay.
when the vlog style I will usually take on will be like join me as I create this, or join me as I plan my social media content. So I guess it's more like day in the life or over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Follow me as I do this process, but I don't travel enough for vlogging. And I know I'm probably wrong in saying
You're
that.
here.
But I know, but I'm, and I'm also from Canada. I'm from Toronto, where
Yeah.
like 4 months out of the year, it's cold. What do you want to see? Here's my snow. Here's more snow. So
That's very interesting. That's one thing I learned in vlogging is like even filming the most mundane tasks, people find that interesting.
I agree. Yeah, it's all about telling a good story that makes the mundane exciting. And
Yeah.
I love how in this example we're looking at, you even said, like I think in clip 2 or clip 3 where you have the flowers and then you go to the pathway beyond that. It's like an extension of that journey. Here's the close-up, and now we're walking together. Always go back to showing people and bringing it back to the
Yeah.
human aspect. I think that there really is a formula to short-form video and the scenes we put into it, and I
Yeah.
think this post captures it really well.
And another reason why I love video, I'm a video person. I don't know if people know that. Got started as like a video editor, vlogger on YouTube and stuff before like getting into graphic design. But one thing I love about video is that the clips don't necessarily have to make sense. Like these two scenes are in two completely different places.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they're not even in close to one another.
Right,
Like this
okay.
is Central Park, and then I think this is somewhere in Long Island City. Like,
And I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, you wouldn't know if I haven't said anything. So that's also what I like about videos, that you could really like kind of like craft your story and like put clips that not necessarily make sense or like match per se, but if they look good and cohesive and push the story forward,
It's
that's
on
what
how you tie it together.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Exactly.
And it also goes to show the subtle effect that, like, the border you have here, all that really does tie this together.
Yeah.
It really does make the content feel like one cohesive piece. And I wouldn't have guessed till you said it that these were from completely different
I just
places
outed
and
myself.
experiences.
Okay, cool. So now since you guys like the overlay so much, I've been playing around with more overlay ideas that y'all can definitely do. So one thing that someone mentioned, film grain, right? There are film grains in here. So if we just search up film grain on the stock library, there are a bunch of different ones. So I don't even know. Can I zoom in? I'll zoom in here. So you can definitely select any of these. Personally, I like the more subtle ones. But even if you do have an effect that's a bit, how do I say, like dramatic.
Okay.
You can lower down the opacity.
Right.
And kind of like that's how I would soften some of the effects, which I'll do in the next one.
And I like how you're rotating it to make it vertical. It's
Yes.
nice and easy. It's easy to do that. I like to do that as well, as opposed to sometimes like zooming it all the way in. You get more out of it by rotating it.
Right. Okay, so I have this in here, and then we'll do the same thing, blend mode, set it to screen, and then it's going to be really subtle, but we'll zoom in here. But you can see the little scratches and stuff. And then another effect that I like to do, actually, don't forget the layers. We're going to drag this actually down. Actually, no. I like it on top. That's fine. I was going to say,
Yeah, I like
put
it
it
on
below
top
the
of the font,
text.
too.
Yeah,
It's nice.
yeah. It adds it to the text, too. I like that. But another effect that I like to do is film burns. Do you know what those are?
I know them literally from short form video. So like I've been learning more about like how to make my videos more engaging, and film burns are one of them. One of the ways to just capture the motion, capture the transition from scene to scene, keep your audience attention.
Yes. So they have some film burn footage in the stock library. You can also add things like light leaks, I think is great for also blending footage together, especially if you're transitioning using the dissolve. You can definitely make your clips appear more seamless. So I'm just going to grab this and then put it on. Did I do it?
And Jeff pointing out, wow, free film grain assets. Stop blowing my mind.
Let's do it again.
I am feeling the exact same way sitting here. I'm gonna go home and have a lot of fun with a lot more video in here.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do the same thing, and then this one's wild. Like, see all the color?
Yeah.
I just love the colors so much. And then you can, if you didn't know, you can also change I guess it's called retiming or slip editing, I think.
Yeah, like finding the section you want from that clip, and it's very easy. I love how the two boxes are laid over top of each other. You have your clip and then the layer on top showing exactly what's going to be in the video.
Right. I want the piece with like a little bit of the writing, like this.
Yeah,
part.
I like that part too.
Okay. Cool. So now we have that part, and we're going to do the same thing. Now it's cool when you do it with color because it's just... This is a little intense, but like it's like, come on.
Wow.
Come on.
That's a good intro. And that's really, in particular with the title screen, that's really going to grab attention. And like you said, the opacity can always be reduced. If you do feel like it is harsh, you can always take that down.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah, my sweet spot is around 50 to like 70%, depending on how like bold and bright the color is. It's like, so good. Oh my
That
gosh.
is super cool.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
I need to dive into all this and to try this, but I love how it's all in here. I think it's cool how it frames the video, right? At the very beginning, we are starting with, here's what it's going to be about. It feels like a short film, which I could imagine is probably one of the priorities when it comes to creating a vlog like this.
Right.
My question is, how do you, what goes into your mind when you're finding footage for a vlog video like this? Like, do you have your phone out a lot? What tells you like, this is a moment I want to capture in a video or in a vlog?
Ooh, that is such a good question. Okay, so I personally really like, I think in terms of like B-roll all the time. Every time I see like beautiful scenery or anything like that, or any cool textures, colors, flowers in bloom, whether if I'm going to use it for the vlog or not, I always have like a back stock of B-roll to use in like stories, Instagram posts, or like really anything I can repurpose.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. I am a hoarder on my phone. My camera roll is about like 60% B-roll shots. But in terms of what goes into the vlog, when I was putting all these clips together, I knew like I can't film myself. I can't bring myself
it's hard.
Tripod it and walk across the screen
No
like 5
stick?
times. I can't. But this, I don't know. This seems more natural to do like selfie style. And then I had my friend like take videos of me. That's fine. But like I knew I wanted some of those shots in there. And then a lot of like scenery. Another thing I pay attention to is the direction I pan. For some reason, by default, I go left to right every single time, and it's so I forget that, and then sometimes I either have to awkwardly reverse the clip, but if for some reason, by miracle, if I do film a different like panning direction, I will put it in there.
Now, is that because, would you reverse it? Is that because you want them panning in the same direction, or to transition from one, like following the motion of what's going on, you want to pan in the right direction?
Kind of. I just feel like I pan to the left like too much.
Okay.
I like having the variety. Like for example, like this shot, we have the train going left, and then the footage is the top is going down. So I just like having that kind of variety versus in this one, they're both left to right.
Oh, fair. Yes, I seeing those two back to back, it really does highlight it.
Yeah.
This I'm less likely to go back and watch, whereas I love these grids going on here because I'm probably going to watch the video a second time, maybe a third time, to see, okay, I was focusing on the subway on the first watch through, now let me go back to and watch it again and see what was below that the second time I watch it, which is great for getting people to watch your videos. Well, I know we don't want to like hack that. We want to have good storytelling content first and foremost. But the more you can get people to rewatch your content and take a look or share it, the better it's going to do on social media.
Yeah, and that's the thing with vlogs. I feel like, especially if there's no voiceover on them, like you really have to like be intentional with the shots and stuff that you have and really tell the story like non-verbally or even set the vibe or the scene.
Yes.
So I think it's really important for this type of vlogs. We have a question. Why don't I have the TikTok Symphony? So if the TikTok Creative Symphony or a TikTok Symphony Assistant, is not available on your Adobe Express, 1, make sure you're on desktop. And then 2, make sure you have if you have the TikTok, the add-on installed, uninstall it and then reinstall, or refresh your tab. It should automatically update to the TikTok Symphony Assistant.
And just in case anybody is tuning in and missed the intro, we do have a video showing off those features. So we'll show that for you. Anyone who's been tuning in since the beginning, honestly, it's got some trendy graphics. So I like
really
watching
cute.
it a few times. But we'll show that for you so you can see what we're talking about.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought if you won't leave him alone. Ooh. Let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call his new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wallet.
And we are doing some awesome short form vlog content. Anyone who's tuning in, I'm Lucas and I'm joined by Katrina.
Hello.
And what are we moving on to next?
All right, so we have the clips and then all of them have like the grain effect in. So we're almost finished. At this point in time, I would just put in the music from the TikTok Symphony Assistant, but because we can't do that due to YouTube copyright claims. We are going to do a little DIY moment. And, we're going to record our own.
Oh, very cool.
I
like doing this because I like, are we going to do a voiceover? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I like it.
Just to, paint the vision, okay? So I went through the TikTok symphony or the TikTok commercial library last night, and some of the sounds are very familiar, and I actually didn't realize that a lot of creators and business owners stuff were using those sounds already, and I was like, oh my gosh, they sound so great. So if you haven't checked out the music library, definitely go for it. But I thought it would be fun since we can't exactly show the music today. We'll paint the picture for them.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. Every time I record a voiceover, I demo the voiceover part in a live demo.
But I will say, my favorite voiceover content is the one that doesn't feel scripted.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite ways to record voiceovers, it takes a few tries because we all know it's live, it's on the spot, right? There are people who are those like first time one take, geniuses who can make a perfect narration the first time they try. But I like to just watch the video and speak what's happening and record that. And sometimes I find that is the more authentic, to the point, come along with me storytelling voiceover.
Right. So yeah, definitely I do all of my voiceovers in Adobe Express. It's really simple. Like you can see it going already. You just select the microphone and you hit start recording. And yeah, oh my gosh. I'm so nervous to record this voiceover. Okay. This happens, if you've ever been to a live event, this happens every time. I always gotta get hyped up.
I'm gonna put on headphones so I can hear you.
Oh, really? Okay. Wait, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Lucas is now a music producer. All right, here we go. We can do this in one take. Oh gosh. Okay, I got nervous. Okay. I always have to think about what I'm gonna say first. Okay. Come with me to New York City for summer. I went to New York with my best friend Clarence, and we went to so many cool places. We went to Central Park, and we went to this park and saw a bunch of tulips. It was so nice. The weather was great. We also went to this really cool building with balloons, and then we took the subway, and then this is Brooklyn, I believe, and then we went to Times Square. It was so much fun, but so many people. And then we visited some friends at Long Island City, and then this is New Jersey.
I like that. I know it's still recording us. We gotta click finish recording.
I'm sorry.
That is how you do. That is how you do a voiceover. I like that. And we had Anthony counting you in with a 3, 2, 1, which is great. But really, I like the fast pacing of it, because you were watching it in real time and keeping up with it, right?
I definitely panicked at the end. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, you're getting a lot of applause in the comments. People are loving it.
Thank you, Paco.
And why don't we listen? We'll turn down the volume a bit. I always forget to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But let's listen and hear it.
Oh, I'm so scared. Come with me to New York City for summer. I went to New York with my best friend Clarence, and we went to so many cool places. We went to Central Park, and we went to this park and saw a bunch of tulips. It was so nice. The weather was great. We also went to this really cool building with balloons, and then we took the subway, and then this is Brooklyn, I believe, and then we went to Times Square. It was so much fun, but so many people. And then we visited some friends at Long Island City, and then this is New Jersey.
I love it. That is awesome.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, as you can see,
I actually might keep it
in the chat. This is good, right? And sometimes I find as content creators, we overthink too much. We are too hard on ourselves, and it often is the takes or the video where you just record it. You just do it and post it, put it out there, and that's authentic. We hear this word authentic tossed around as in content and social media a lot.
All the time.
And I think that's truly what it is. And it looks like the chat is agreeing.
Oh,
with you as well.
need Katrina to narrate my life. You know, I really do like those videos on TikTok where you have another person narrate your video. I think those are so funny because they don't know what's going on. So if you want me to narrate your TikTok videos, feel free to send them.
That's a good point, right? There's a new
DM me on Instagram and I will narrate the video for you. Okay, cool. So I'm going to leave this last bit of where I'm laughing. I don't know if I can hear it, but
I like the cutaway with you laughing. Yeah, so
it is funny, but so we're gonna end it in a true film style. Let's do an end slide. So we're gonna change.
Anthony makes a good point. Press record and see what happens.
Oh, trust me, that's every time I do a live demo. I always say, and you can record voiceovers. I'm not gonna demo it for you today, but you could do that. And then everyone would be like, no, demo it. And I'd be like, okay. And then usually this happens. And then everyone likes it. And I'm dying on the inside, so.
There's actually something scientific about I'm going to butcher this, but there's something scientific about we don't like the sound of our own voices played back on recording. Not because anything on our voice. It is to do with when we speak, we hear like a certain vibration of the sound waves echoing off our head. And then that makes our voice sound much lower when we are hearing it. So I'm speaking right now. But when we hear a recording of ourselves, we don't get that echo effect. So it's our voice sounds higher than it is, and it's unfamiliar to us. So we're like, that's not what I sound like, and it's just because we're not used to that echo that happens in our skull usually.
Is that actually?
I used to be a science teacher, a little bit more leaning into math, so don't quote me on that.
Teacher?
Yeah, I was a grade 8 science teacher for a few years. So
I did not know this.
I didn't do a lesson on that. Don't quote me on it, but you can Google it. Why does our voice sound different on recording compared to in our head?
I did not know this about you at all. Wow. Very cool. Oh my gosh, it's still playing. Okay, so we have this little end card now. I just think it's, a cute little cheeky thing to add to the film aesthetic. We're going to pop in the film overlay here so that it's there. And then lastly, we're going to take this film, the film burn, pop it on here. Another great thing I really love about the timeline and even multiple pages on Adobe Express is you could just copy and paste across pages, and it just makes it so easy, because I've said this before on stream, I am very lazy when it comes to content creation.
Honestly, with how organized I'm looking at you know how many of my projects are called untitled? I'm seeing your organization and bringing over your assets and your files and
in
your projects.
Adobe Express, or in the other apps, you name your layers. In Adobe Express, name your pages.
Yes, there's a good tip right there.
Name your pages.
In the chat, which kind of person are you? Are you the disorganized or are you the organized?
But yeah, so I'll literally just copy and paste text. If there's a text box already with the font, I'll just copy that, put it on a new page, just so I don't have to hit, create new text box over and over again. So, oh my gosh, the laugh is still there.
I like that. I like ending with the laugh. I think that's a good way to go.
Come with me to New York City for summer. Okay. Oh man.
And I love how quickly and easily it was to bring over that effect, that film burn effect we put at the beginning, just to easily copy and paste it over and replicate it at the end. Really does a nice, it bookends the video, right? We're starting with this, we're ending with this.
I love that. I love how you're putting, you're very articulate in this process.
Putting the terms into it.
Yes, exactly.
For anyone taking notes, there you go. Bookend your videos.
Bookend your videos, yes. And then, I don't know if folks know this, but you can now add transitions between clips in Adobe Express. It has been in here for a little bit, but it's a little bit hidden if you don't usually press the plus button in between each clip. So you can add transitions. There's a bunch of different ones, like dip to black, white, dissolve, and then there's a couple push ones, slide, and wipe. So if you didn't know, now you do. So we're just going to dissolve this. And then you can also change up the duration.
I like having that option to really just, it could be super fast, it could be super slow. I like how you mentioned it really does kind of work. The dissolve in particular, I find, works really well with the film burns you have. It kind of makes it just this natural progression. And it doesn't look like you applied effects. It looks like this is just coming from the film.
Yeah.
Keys in the chat is confirmed. It is true what Lucas said. Even most microphones do not capture our true voice.
Really?
Yeah. I guess as content creators, though, we do get used to hearing our voice on recording a lot more than the average person, too. Right?
Dang, so I'll never know what I actually sound like? Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, and then, so this is looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to do, this is a very stickler thing, but I think it adds a lot. We're going to actually time in these different text titles. I forgot to do it in the beginning. But basically, let me make this big so y'all can see.
So we're taking full advantage of the fact that we have the 3 fonts. We're going to have some different timing coming in as well.
Exactly. So basically what I'm going to do is we're going to have the summer come in just a little bit after the video starts. So it kind of just like pops in. And then we're going to have the other texts follow. And if you notice, there are these timing dots here. If you ever wondered what those were, that means there's an element that starts there. So that's how you'll be able to visually see, like, if there's something else that's, like, popping up. I did get some questions on that before.
On what though, yeah.
Like, what are these dots?
It just makes it, for me, it just makes it so easy to locate the different layers, the different elements that I want to have. I've had some busy videos, as this one's getting pretty busy. The average video has a lot going on.
Yeah.
But just being able to find and isolate what you're looking for that fast is so easy.
Let's temporarily mute that. Mute my voice
I was
over.
just about to put my headphones back on.
No. Not this. Okay. Let's watch it back. Okay, so that looks pretty cool, right? It's a little fast, but we can get in there. Summer. Let's push this one a little bit more, and then this one, move this one down.
And to anyone just tuning in, we are working with a lot of different TikTok workflows, short form video workflows on stream today, because you can now access the TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on on the desktop version of Adobe Express. I like how we did a voiceover here, but someone could also easily go into the TikTok Symphony Assistant, get some commercially usable music, and make it just, some nice classic music in the background as you go on your journey. I've been finding with social media content, it's important to A/B test or to try 2 different formats of a video and see, okay, does my audience love the voiceover style? Or did my audience seem to really resonate with just the music in the background? So it's very nice to have the 2 options. I'm all in experimentation mode these days with my content as well.
Love that. All right, now I'm just adding in an out animation, so these all kind of flicker out. And I like the flicker animation because we have that color overlay.
Yeah.
That's like kind of flickering.
I'm excited to see the finished piece.
I know.
Speaking of the word symphony, this almost is a symphony going on.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. What? This is the only one that animates. Hold on.
I often ask this when I'm on stream. Do you have a favorite Adobe Express animation that you like your go-to?
Oh, yes, I do. It is no secret. I am a huge fan. For the in animations, I like to do the pop.
Pop's my favorite.
Yes. And then if Paul Tranny is in the room,
Oh, okay.
to spite him, I'll use the tumble, because he talks so much smack about the tumble animation in every demo. If you've ever seen a Paul Tranny Adobe Express demo, he will always say like, oh, you could do animations, like you can make it pop, you can make it shrink, fade, and then tumble Well, maybe not that.
I like
verbatim.
tumble.
Verbatim. He says that every time. No shade. But
And I find tumble is perfect though for that time, like in the small
Yeah.
little connector words.
I think it's
cute like that. It's very
I
like
think it's
Pixar-y,
cute.
like do.
Yeah. So this is this is me calling out Paul, saying I'm a fan of the tumble. There's nothing wrong with it. It is perfect. You know, while we're on the topic of tumble, you know who used it? I don't know why I have these on still. You know who used it very like creatively recently?
No.
Ash Green.
Oh yes, okay.
She has this summer art challenge with Adobe Express. She had illustration. Do you know her Instagram at the top of your head?
No. Her name is Ashley Green. Ash is Green might be the
You can look
Instagram.
it up.
I'll search it up right here.
We'll give her a shout out. But basically, if you're looking for an idea for how to use animations in Adobe Express, she's an illustrator and she made all her assets in Fresco and Illustrator. And she had the clothes. It was like a girl, and then who had like a wardrobe, clothing kind of doll kind of thing, and she had the clothes like tumble in and make an outfit.
Very cool.
It was so fun.
I have her. So yeah, it is Ash is Green. Ash S Green. All one username on there.
If we can just show her profile.
Yeah, I'll show her. I won't click on any of her videos because I don't know what music she put into hers.
But like,
she's
if
got
you want inspiration for how to use animation as well as illustration, check out
some very
Ash
cool
Green.
patterns going on there as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, love it. Okay, that was a really big tangent, but essentially, yes, animations
Let's
in
see our
Adobe
animations,
Express.
yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oliver asked a great question about the TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on. So I'm assuming stuff you make using music from TikTok Symphony is only usable on TikTok. So we do, so this is to export directly into TikTok, which is great. You don't have to have that added step of, making the video, trying to find that commercially usable music and then adding it in TikTok. But if you were to use this on another platform, that's where I would use a lot of the stock music that's available on Adobe Express. Put that in, just go into the media tab and look for the audio there, and you'll see a lot. Okay, so we're back to what do you have now at the end of your video?
So I'm pretty much done with this video. So this is what we're working with. Voiceover is playing, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I think it's muted. I think the voiceover is muted.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Try again. Maybe we'll up it. 15 was very generous. I don't know if that was too low. Come with me to New York City for summer. I went to New York with my best friend Clarence, and we went to so many cool places. We went to Central Park, and we went to this park and saw a bunch of tulips. It was so nice. The weather was great. We also went to this really cool building with balloons, and then we took the subway, and then this is Brooklyn, I believe, and then we went to Times Square. It was so much fun, but so many people. And then we visited some friends at Long Island City, and then this is New Jersey.
Honestly, you laughing at the end is the perfect ending to this video. It's so good. I love how it kind of like ends just fading out into laughter.
Yeah.
It's really good.
No, I it's so silly. I love it. Yeah, so that's essentially what I would do for like a travel vlog TikTok. But if let's say like, if I'm doing this off stream and stuff, of course at this point I would put in the music.
Yep.
Rather than the voiceover. I don't really do voiceovers very much. But I would do the music to like put onto my video, and then I would retime the clips to the music if you're into that. If you like matching beats to would you say that's like a
Yes, that is something I like to do. Yeah, timing up all your elements. I just saw a message in chat. I think it was from Anthony, but he mentioned that finding good music is so key on short form video, which is absolutely right. And having that motion, you're activating as many senses as you can.
Yeah.
With social media, you can't activate taste, you can't activate smell, but you can activate the sound, and you can activate the visuals, and really tying it all together is something I really like to see too.
Nice. Yeah, so after all the music and the retiming of the clips so that it fits, now it's time to share the thing. Sometimes I will download it to my device. You know, you could pick your file format, and then the video resolution, 720p, 1080p I like to do. If you want to do 4K, go for it. Or you can share it to social media. Adobe Express does have a built-in scheduler, but if you use the TikTok Symphony Assistant and you use like the music from there, it will prompt you saying you can only post it to TikTok because it is a TikTok sound. Yes. Therefore, it will only play on TikTok. If you try to export it anywhere else or share it to anywhere else, it will silent the video.
Right.
So, just so you know. But yeah, so we can schedule the post, and then it's still uploading, so that's chill. And then you can post to, if you're brand new to the schedule, if you don't know what's going on here, you can pretty much schedule to your different social media platforms. You can schedule to you can connect up to three profiles per platform. And we have direct publishing to Facebook, Instagram, X, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and TikTok over here. So you just would have to select which one you want. In this case, we're doing TikTok, and you can type in a caption as well.
I love how personalized it is also for TikTok. Like there's options here, disable comments, but also like disable duet, disable stitch, like the things that are unique to TikTok.
Right.
If someone didn't want these being, duetted or stitched, it's very cool that you have those custom features and it recognizes what platform you're uploading for.
No, yeah, I think that part is really cool as well. Now, caption writing on TikTok. What are your tips for that?
Short is what
honest,
I find.
I'm
Very
not good.
short.
Okay.
I think it just like 1 or 2 lines is best because I find the video will speak for it, right? Someone is just going to watch the video, so just keep it to the point. Talk about where you went, when you went there, and that's pretty much good on my end is what I say.
So what would you write the caption for me?
Write the caption? All right. Let me see.
Lucas is a social media expert. He knows everything about social media strategy and content creation tips, so which is why I'm like, oh, I have so much to learn from him.
So something that I really like about our voiceover is it was all focused on the video. It was all focused on the story. I find a lot of people hear that it's important to put a call to action. So what do you want your viewer or your audience to do after watching your video or while watching your video? Every post should have a call to action. But I find when you put it directly in the video, it can remove from the effect that someone just wants to watch this video, right? They don't want to be told to do something. So I like putting those in the caption.
Okay.
So I would just put, where's your favorite place to visit in New York City?
Ooh.
Right? Or where should I have gone in New York City? What did I miss out on? A simple question that anybody can answer. Could also do like, have you been to New York City? Anything like that. I like this one. But that's going to get people commenting. Comments are really great for engaging your audience. They're really important for most social media algorithms. It's a lot more than a like to just like the video and move on. It's showing that someone put some time into it. You already got you read my mind. I didn't even know there was a Statue of Liberty emoji. They're coming out with new emojis all the time. But yeah, throw in some emojis, keep it visual, keep it nice and to the point, especially on TikTok. Other platforms, I might put a longer caption just to get more SEO keywords in there. But TikTok, I find short is key.
What about hashtags?
Hashtags, again, 2 or 3. So I might put travel vlog, hashtag NYC, hashtag New York City. Actually, a tip I like to share. Most social media platforms are so good at SEO, which is search engine optimization. I heard the other day that TikTok is almost like competing with Google for being the search engine of probably Gen Z, but also a lot of people just will search something up on TikTok nowadays. So because we even put NYC in the caption, usually that means we don't even have to put a hashtag NYC. Yeah, most platforms will register them in the same way, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
So you could put just like hashtag day in the life, hashtag come along with me, something like that.
Wow.
But no, short and to the point is the ideal caption from my perspective.
See, y'all, social media genius right here. Give him a follow on Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Just the Lucas O'Keefe.
The Lucas O'Keefe. There you go for all of the best social media content creation tips.
Well, speaking of Instagram, I know we have a few more minutes left. Yeah. I've actually been to New York a few times, but I created not a full travel vlog, but a short little story using my footage from New York City. So why don't we take a look at what I have here on my screen? But something that is great to do is with a longer vlog like Katrina just did, I say long, it was 40 seconds, with a vlog post like Katrina did, it's also good to share it on stories or give a sneak preview on stories. So something very easy to do. If you go into the templates on Adobe Express, there are so many story templates that are already there. I love a bunch of them because they have like these on-screen elements and whatnot popping up. But I just made this quick and short to the point story saying travel vlog to New York City.
I love that.
It's showing me walking there and it's saying new post coming soon. I don't know where that is in New York.
10 out of 10.
But anyways, thank you so much, Katrina. We have had
having
an
me.
awesome day and the stream is just getting started. So coming up soon, we have Day in My Life vlogging with Brittney, and you're still on here, Katrina. No breaks for you. Then I'll be back at 11 talking about converting long form content like a pro. And then we have TikTok promo made easy, all sharing this new TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on in Adobe Express.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh, let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call his new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wallet.
Hey everyone, welcome to Adobe Live. I am your host today, Katrina Torrijos. I'm the Adobe Express evangelist, and I have a very special guest today, Brittney.
I'm so excited to be here. I feel like, I think there's going to be a lot of vlogs today, so you can't get tired of them. I feel like all vlogs are so different, and I was just watching Katrina's stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've taken away so many tips from you now, so I'm ready to go.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet. Oh my gosh. But today is a very special day because we are streaming live from the San Francisco office because we are celebrating the launch of a brand new add-on in Adobe Express called the TikTok Symphony Assistant. Now, I'm just going to preface this. Due to YouTube copyright stuff, we are unable to show the music assistant because it is TikTok's music and we are on YouTube, so yes. But we do have this video to show you of the new TikTok Symphony Assistant and how it works. So with that, roll the clip.
So he's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought if you won't leave him alone. Ooh, let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call this new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wall.
All right, so as you can see, the TikTok Symphony Assistant is perfect for planning your next viral TikTok, from researching, brainstorming, scripting, and now adding music from the TikTok commercial library. You can do that all now within Adobe Express with this new add-on. Now, just gonna say some highs to people in chat. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Jack. Hi, Robert. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Cody. Hi, Anthony. We have so many people in chat today, so at any point in the stream, if you have any questions, any comments, reactions, whatever, feel free to put in chat. We're here to hang out. But with that, I'm going to pass it over to Brittney. What are we doing today?
Well, okay, first of all, I feel like I just need to say when I found out about the new Symphony Assistant, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such a game changer. Because if you're like me and you love editing Reels in Adobe Express, and I know Katrina's the exact same way, it's just such a game changer having all this fun music to choose from. So with that being said, I feel like I'm super excited to show you a little like behind the scenes vlog. I said a day in the life. It's really been like a 24 hours in the life because started yesterday to this morning, and we're going to kind of just show a bunch of behind the scenes of my trip coming here to San Francisco from Toronto.
Well, you also came from Toronto. Liz
Yes.
there. Oh my gosh. Nice.
We're basically neighbors. Okay, so, and by the way, I just want to like say straight up, the first couple of clips are not the cutest because my husband recorded them, and if anybody gets it, he's not the best recording clips. Okay, let's do this. And I've muted. See what I mean?
Wow.
I was like, I just zoom in right here so I can see these clips in a little bit more detail.
Yeah. There's also headphones if you wanted to.
And they're all kind of quiet. I muted them all. So we're
Okay,
just
cool.
going to record video or edit video right now, I feel like.
Nice.
And then I'm thinking afterwards we're going to add a little bit of a voiceover. And then that's normally where I would add like a background music. But obviously in today's case, we'll kind of imagine the background music being there.
I'll sing it for you. I have my favorite one from the library.
What's your favorite?
It's the one that goes. Why
Why do I feel like I know the one that you're talking about, though?
That's exactly how it goes.
I love that.
People in chat know what I'm talking about.
I'm curious to know, like, in the chat, how many people actually, like, edit vlog-style reels already, or is this, like, a brand new thing to you?
For TikTok and Reels, it's very new. I was mainly on YouTube. I'm a long form girly, so I like,
The lengthier ones.
the lengthier vlogs, it's just nice to like put in the background and stuff like that. But yeah, when I'm like scrolling TikTok, I think a lot of folks are doing more vlog styles to like capture their trips and stuff.
I think so too, and it's always so much fun. I feel like one of my biggest things with vlog style Reels or TikToks, whatever you're creating short form video content, and I'm sure like you totally agree with this, you have to be very selective with your clips,
right?
Because it can get like really crazy really fast. if you're not being selective and like cutting things, I want to say like at the right point. So like just being a little pickier with your clips, I think is the key. Like, although this was so cute, like seeing the whole clip go out, the whole luggage, and then she was gone.
Oh my gosh. I remember having so much anxiety going through that luggage process. I was like, oh no, a self-serve luggage check-in. Uh-oh, I will mess it up.
It's like, it's the story of my life. And the funny part is like coming this time, actually, like it took an hour for our luggage to get off the plane. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, where's my luggage right now? So it was funny because I was deleting a bunch of clips because there I am standing at the luggage carousel trying to film. And I'm like holding my camera up waiting and it's not coming. I had like an hour of footage of just the carousel going.
I'm glad you pre-cut it for us already.
Yes.
This is so cute.
It's always fun when you get to like record your trip. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I love that.
Okay.
Nice. So you make it look so easy, just like trimming the clips and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think that comes also with practice. Like you're gonna find which clips that you feel like you just could go without. Like this here, like sometimes I'll film things and then I'm like, I don't really actually like the way that turned out. So what's the point? And I'll just get rid of it as I go.
Nice. Yeah, with my stream, the previous one, my clips, what I like to do is on my phone, I will like edit I will trim the clip already just to save time on this process. But sometimes if I do forget to do that whole thing, I will like, Adobe Express
do it
makes
this
easy
way. Exactly.
to trim it.
And I think it's like just finding your own creative workflow is like the biggest thing because everybody has their own way of doing something. Like I'm somebody who like I love to film a lot and then I don't like sometimes I don't have the time to go through it right then and there. So or I want to come back to it. So if I kind of drop everything in this way, it's pretty easy to come back to when I'm ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I always think that I'm going to get work done on a plane, but the moment I sit down, I am asleep.
That was like me.
One of these days.
I feel like what time did you end up coming here, leaving to fly?
I'm from here.
Okay, so perfect. It was easy for you. I had to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So when you see like this first clip of me, I was like kind of slowly dying at this time of day. So like imagine being like, okay, but I need to like record the thing at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you're so productive.
We love a productive queen.
Yeah, the airport is one of the best places to be productive, but
can be a struggle sometimes.
Not for me.
Yeah. It's like on the plane too. Like I edited a full video for one of our clients in Premiere on the plane. And it's like, what I love is like, I feel like when you're on the plane, like you have nothing really to do. So like you can be super productive. You know what I mean? Okay, cute. I want to kind of view where we're at from the beginning so far and just see how this is coming along. So we have this, the luggage tag, super cute. She's going off on her way.
Wow.
And look how easy this is coming together already, which is so much fun. Had to get a Starbucks. I had to.
Always.
And then you'll actually see me starting to edit here in the airport. And I was like, how can I film with one hand and my tripod's in my luggage? So how are we going to do this right now?
Oliver said 3 a.m.?
3 a.m.
Oh my gosh. Paloma said, yeah, I've edited a podcast on the plane. Y'all are productive. Let me know in chat. Are you team productive on a plane or are you team go to sleep?
I feel like we need to trademark productive on a plane and make it into a t-shirt. Like somebody needs to do this and send me the link, please.
Oh my gosh. Nice. If you're just tuning in, I'm here with Brittney. We're editing a day in her life vlog on Adobe Express. And we're also celebrating the launch of the TikTok Symphony Assistant, which is an add-on in Adobe Express that will help you research, brainstorm, script, and also now add music from the TikTok commercial music library. All within Adobe Express. So that's kind of what we're talking right now. As you're cutting your clips together, if we can go to my screen really quick, here is how to access the TikTok Symphony Assistant. So if you go to the add-ons tab here, it should be the first option, but if it's not for you, just go on the search tab and search TikTok, and then it'll pop up. Just click on it, install it, and then you'll be able to start using the assistant, and it's gonna pop up here on the right. I'm not sure if you see this menu over here, but there are different things, like you can ask it what's trending, brainstorm some TikTok creative ideas, essentially what I literally just said like 5 seconds ago. You can ask it to write scripts or find trending TikTok music. So it's a great tool if you are looking to get into TikTok or if you are a TikTok creator. And yeah, let us know what you think if you played with it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in chat. And yeah. That's pretty much it. All right, which part are we looking at now?
So now we're on the plane.
Okay.
And
we've made progress.
Exactly. We're a little further along the way. Mm-hmm. And also, like, I wish that I could edit videos that fast. Like, how long was that clip in there? Like, a second or two? Like, I wish that I could actually edit videos that fast.
No, you're doing great. Let's see. Valerie says, definitely productive. Paloma said, productive on the plane could be a TikTok series too. Oh,
I love that.
Anthony said, productive on a plane. I have to because I might get an idea out of nowhere. You know what? You are right. You are correct. He said, I am team. Can't believe this pressurized metal cylinder is flying. I feel that. I get that way sometimes too, especially when it's like the weather is kind of sus and you're just like, oh my goodness, and you're sitting there with all the turbulence.
Yeah,
at that point,
it's a whole event.
At that point, I'm just like, okay, go to sleep. We'll wake up where we need to be.
I think like the only struggle with being productive on a plane on a laptop is like, in this case, I had a child in front of me who's like rocking their seat back and forth. Wow. And my laptop screen is like, I'm like, okay, we're going to make it work.
Nice. All right, let's switch back to your screen. Let's see what's happening.
I had to record this tiny little car. Did you see it? So cute. I was like, oh my gosh, can this be my next car?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, so we're going to delete that because we kind of got everything that we need here. I don't think there's anything else from the airport. I think I was just filming it moving, and then we stopped, and then I was like, okay. Filming everything.
I love it.
I do know I got the takeoff, so I do want to make sure to include that because that was pretty cool.
Nice.
I want to say maybe it's over here. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to delete. Actually, I'll keep this screen here.
I feel like this part of the video editing process requires like the most concentration, the rough cut.
Yes.
Ooh, not my favorite part, but it has
necessary. To happen, right?
It's the foundation of your video.
Exactly.
Nice. I like it.
It's coming along really well, actually. Like, this is what I love about, like, how easy things can be to edit in Adobe Express, because I think, like, whether you're somebody that actually has, like, a lot of experience editing or not, this is, like, great for everybody. Like, I mean, we have members of our team, because I run a marketing agency, who have no experience in editing, but they'll, like, throw things into here to create little behind-the-scenes clips for socials in different ways. And then you have somebody like me that, like, normally my default would be to edit in Premiere Pro, but, like, I just love the simplicity of Adobe Express and, like, that I don't have to operate this, like, beast of a platform if I don't want to, right?
Yeah. Darlene is asking, how long did it take to edit?
I guess we're going to find out. I think we're going to get through the whole video today. Like, I mean, honestly, if recording and editing something like this, I think the biggest amount of time is, like, actually recording the clips. And I think you could probably, like, second that.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, I think it depends on how creative you want to get with things. If you're somebody that loves to add, like, a lot of animations on screen, or somebody who just really loves to, like, play around with a lot of the different elements, I think it could take a lot of time, or it could take a little amount of time, right?
Right. So what would you say is your style of editing? Like, are you someone that puts in a lot of elements and stickers, text, animations, or pretty simple?
Yeah, I think it's like a mixture of both. And I think every video is a little different in its own, that depending on like what I'm trying to achieve with that video, I think is where I go. I try not to like overcomplicate with a lot of different things on screen, because sometimes I feel like it can also take away from like the clips that you're trying to show. So for me, I think my default is like I'll add like a nice little something when you're just first starting and opening the video, and maybe like sprinkled throughout, but nothing like super crazy where like it's the whole video. Exactly. Okay, here's the takeoff. We're finally there. So I'm just going to split this clip, and I'm going to delete this whole part that I don't need.
Nicole said, I've been obsessed with playing around in Adobe Express and can't wait to start editing videos. Yay!
Yay! That makes us so happy.
It does.
I do want to keep majority of this takeoff, but not the whole thing because it's like too long. But I love where you can see Toronto. See, we're flying like right over Toronto there. And I think that's like so cool. I also never feel like when you watch people's travel vlogs, do you ever see the takeoff? Like, do you ever see that part?
Sometimes, but sometimes it's literally like only like 2 seconds, but it's like speed ramped. So it's like at like 200% speed.
Right. And I feel like this is so fun to like kind of see and look at like the clouds. Like I was so shook that this was on my iPhone. I can't.
Oh yeah. You can do so much with your iPhone.
Yeah.
How do you import your clips? Do you do it on mobile or do you bring it into your laptop?
I airdrop them, and they'll actually end up in like a little folder. I got to try to find where it is, but I airdrop them, throw them into a folder, and then I just drop them all right into Adobe Express. I'm somebody who loves to edit on a desktop. I don't know. Are you a mobile?
I'm a desktop person.
I'm the exact same way.
I need the bigger screen.
It's so true. And I feel like everyone has a preference. I love, don't get me wrong, I love mobile for like so many different reasons, because with mobile, I feel like, you know, when you are on the go, it just makes it so easy to edit or to create. I know there's been times where I've been a little all over the place and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to create a graphic for something that I need like right now, right this second. And I'm like in the middle of nowhere. And that's where like mobile is so helpful for me. But I feel like by nature, I'll always try to kind of edit on desktop.
Right. No, I agree with you. Like, speaking of airport productivity, I would say the most productive I've been on an airport would be making graphics for in Adobe Express, like my Reels covers or any carousel stuff, or I'll even do carousels on TikTok because you could do the photo slides and stuff.
Right.
Just getting those like graphic projects started in Express, sometimes finished even finished off, I think is really great.
It's so awesome. I feel like the possibilities are endless of what you can create in here.
Yeah, and I had a friend who's was just learning Adobe Express, and it's so interesting. He's a runner, and he's vlogging his journey, and he told me that how he uses it is he'll actually, since it's on his phone, he will, and he has a Windows laptop, so he'll upload all the clips on Express on the mobile app, and then edit, like do all the trimming and stuff on desktop. So
which is interesting. And I think that's the thing at the end of the day, is like you have to find what works best for you, because like what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay because we're all creatively different, right?
Agreed. Paloma said yes, I'm a desktop girly. Another second question, are you team desktop or are you team mobile? Anthony said, I'm a mobile person for more flexibility. And said, plus the tools are much more simpler. Love that. I agree. I've been playing a lot more with the mobile app, and it's really easy to learn, in my opinion.
It's like they say, practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah. Well, said, I've seen a meme where it's a millennial thing to do important things on your laptop. Oh, no! I mean, I love being a millennial. I just feel so
aged right now. I'm like...
I love being a millennial.
I know, but like it's so... Have you seen that thing going around right now where it's like if you do a heart like this, you're a millennial, but if you do... I don't even know how to do it the other. There you go. See, I'm too old for that.
No. No.
You're keeping up with the trends, girl.
I have a lot of Gen Zs on our team. Shout out to Kelsey Slay, our design evangelist. She keeps me young. She teaches me all the cool and hip things on TikTok and what the Gen Zers are doing. So that's why I consider myself a zillennial. Like, I straddle
that.
both.
I kind of want to use that. I feel like when you're in this industry, like, I think you
Mm-hmm.
have to kind of be to some point because you got to keep up with all the things that are happening and trending and all the things,
Yeah,
right?
and even if you're not doing it yourself, at least being aware
Exactly.
of what's happening, I think is just more knowledge to you. Like, I will never give up ankle socks. Like, I'm sorry, not gonna happen.
I can see that. I just feel like I don't understand other types of socks. It's like ankle socks are nothing for me. Okay.
I love it. We're off the plane now.
I know. I feel like I'm like reliving and I'm like, I forgot I filmed that. Like,
Was this at, like, what time was this? 5 in the morning?
so it's so funny because like the time difference is 3 hours. So like right now in Toronto, we're 3 hours ahead. So I had to be at the airport. We left for 8, but I got here at like 10:30, 11. So like, because you're going in time, back in time,
back,
like,
yeah.
and it's just funny the way that it works. So like, yeah.
Darlene said you both are funny. Thank you. Thank you, Darlene.
We have great chemistry going here, girl.
Oh, man.
Okay, let me go back to where I was. I just accidentally clicked out of where I was. You can see lots of clips we got going on here.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my god!
It's you! I know! I was like, oh no. It's you, because that was my morning, was watching you guys out there.
Wow.
Okay, we're back to where we were.
I love it. Anthony said, I feel like we're watching a story come to life here.
Yes! Oh, I'm so glad that you guys are loving this.
Yeah. And I love watching the process.
Are you recognizing any of the places that I was driving by because you're from here?
Yeah. I passed by the airport on the way.
It's like the water here is so stunning. Like I just feel like
Thank you.
like
Oh my gosh. I've never heard someone say that about
yeah, like
San
because,
Francisco water.
like you're just driving by and it's like it's so stunning and like everything feels so creative over here too. Like just the way that the buildings are, the architecture, everything. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Do you color grade your footage in Adobe Express like you?
No, do you?
Sometimes. Sometimes, because, you know, I use an iPhone 13 Pro, and sometimes the HDR really
Right.
comes through, and the footage is blown out a little bit. So
Okay.
I'll, like, turn down the highlights and stuff like that.
Do you adjust? Question though, when you're filming, do you adjust your lighting or do you let it auto do its thing?
If it's really bad, I will turn down the exposure.
Okay, because I was like, I really don't touch the lighting much altogether. Like when I'm filming, like I know a lot of people will take their like little sun thing and they'll bring the exposure up or down.
I do
right?
that a little bit if it's like super bright. And
Yeah. Whereas like for me, like I have a little light that I'll attach to my phone when I'm filming. Like you know those little clip-on ones?
Yeah.
And I feel like it helps so much.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need that so bad.
But I've never like run into, because you know when you drop into like Adobe Express, it kind of like automatically starts to adjust your clips for you. Have you noticed that?
A little bit.
Because like as they're loading, they'll look one way when you drop them in, and then it like automatically starts to kind of
It's
correct
especially
their
if you film in the high def like Apple format thing.
Right.
It will convert it.
Okay, cute. I love the way that this is coming together, and I had some clips that I filmed in the hotel that I want to.
You had like a whole day.
It was an experience.
It is only 10:24 a.m. in San Francisco right now, and this is an entire day already.
And I forgot to like add in the hotel clips, so I have to bring them from the back over, which is great because now I can show you guys how we're just moving around the scenes, right? Scenes. And bringing in some of the little clips of the hotel. So last night, guys, I was so, I guess jet-lagged is the right word. And I, like, went to bed right away.
Oh, wow.
I slept right through. So there isn't much that's coming through in that part of the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so we're going to bring this over here. I want to kind of play around with where those clips are going, too. Mm-hmm. See, this is exactly... I was like, I need to film this, because do you think that they used an Adobe program to edit these?
Oh.
Like, do you see the posters there at the beginning? I was like,
You know, it's a possibility.
I feel like it probably happened. And you know, it's so crazy because even like, have you guys ever like seen something that's like creatively done, like a poster, and you're like, I wonder what they did to create that,
yeah.
or like what programs they use.
Yeah.
Like it's so, that's why I love these live streams, because when you get to kind of sneak into people's creative processes, it's so cool to kind of see how things come to life.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if, like, I'll look at a design and I'll kind of reconstruct it in my head.
Yeah, and
how
that's
I would make
exactly
this
what
in
I was
Express.
doing. Yes.
I do that with stories a lot. When I see animated stories, like on ads when I'm scrolling, I'm just like,
Yes.
oh, how do I recreate this?
Or like, have you seen, there's the one, you'll know the name of this animation. It's
Here we go.
in Adobe Express, and it kind of goes like this.
Oh, it's the Bob.
There we go! I was like, okay, can we guess the animation? That should be a thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Adobe Express trivia. That was more like charades. You doing the motion.
That was such a vibe. But like, it's so funny because when I see these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what you did there. I see you.
Oh yeah. And my favorite one is the wiggle
Yes.
animation, the looping one. So every time I see it out in the wild, I was like, oh, I know what program you use.
I love this. I feel like that needs to be a series, like out in the wild, like guess the animation.
Quick chat, write these down.
Yes, ideas.
I'm gonna write it down.
When you see the YouTube short series come out, just remember you saw it here first, okay?
I love that. Jacob, I think this was yesterday. Was this really all this morning or yesterday?
Yesterday.
I thought it was this morning. So it was
Yesterday.
yesterday. She came in I was about to say. Whew.
Okay, I left my house at
That's
3
great.
a.m., got to the airport for
Okay.
4, was there. We left, the plane left at about 8, got here for about 11 San Francisco time, and then this was like getting to the hotel, and then I went to sleep, guys. I'm telling you, I went to sleep after.
Yeah. She said, I guess people who are team productive, team flights, and team laptop, desktop can also remember a time where you couldn't use your phone on a plane, or no internet, or bad chairs, and couldn't sleep. Yes.
The struggle was real.
Or I just watch movies. If there's
Yes.
a TV. Yeah. I have my comfort movies.
This little, like, I think it's a seal, right? Little seal. It was so
Where
cute.
did you go? What is this?
Hotel Zephyr? Zephyr?
Oh, okay.
But how cute is that? Like,
That's so cute.
in the lobby and everything. So I was like,
Oh, I
these
thought you
are
went to
like-
an aquarium right before.
You know what? There is an aquarium down the street, though, because this is in, like, I think it's called, like, Fisherman's Ward, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's, like,
I'm familiar.
it's so cool, though. This hotel's so creative. And I feel like when you see kind of, like, the detailing in the background, it is, like, such a cute, creative space, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're, like, almost through these video clips already,
Yeah.
which is so great.
You edit faster than I do. I'm gonna be honest. Like with the rough cut, for me personally, the rough cut is my most disliked part of the process because it just takes so much brain power. You have to cull through all of your clips.
Right.
And like I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I overshoot. Like I
That's me
take
too,
5
though.
of the same clips, different angles, different speeds. If I'm everyone knows from the last stream, I pan left to right almost every time unintentionally, but I gotta make sure it's the right
perfect
speed.
one. Exactly. And I think
so
like
yeah.
that's the thing though,
me so
because
long.
like sometimes I'll do something and then I'm like, oh, I wish I like was paying a little bit more attention when I was doing it because like I had a little shake at the end or something and I'm like, oh, but if I had more than one take, I wouldn't have to cut this part out.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so I think like over taking your content is also not a bad thing.
It's not. I love options, but it just adds more time through the sifting process.
It's true. Okay.
So do you mostly film with your phone or do you also use a camera sometimes?
I do use a camera if I'm filming something that I need it to be like extremely high quality, or if it's like something that is going to be more of like you sitting and talking to the camera.
Okay.
If it's like a vlog style or I'm out and about, I think I am more of like somebody who prefers to like use a phone just out of convenience. Like it's easy to set up, and me like also fake waking up right now. Can we like take a moment, because
I love doing that. I'm sorry. That's the
you
reality.
see, I'm like getting up, getting down, getting back up, and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't like that one. Let me reshoot that.
Right. Oh my gosh, the reality of it. Sometimes it's definitely in my to-do list, but I want to do like a reality of like filming a travel vlog and filming yourself where you're just walking back and forth like how many times and doing the same action.
Yes.
or every time your phone like flops over.
It's so true, and the struggle's real. Like, it was so funny because it's like when you think about the amount of time it actually takes for you to set up to film something that you would just do so naturally, like you wouldn't be normally recording.
It takes like 5 minutes extra.
Like the thought of like, hold on a second, like I need to film curling my hair. So in order for me to start curling my hair, I need to set up the tripod, make sure the lighting is there. Like it's a whole thing.
Right. It's a whole process.
And I don't even know if I'm going to keep this clip in. Let's see.
A couple, you know?
Like a little.
Like 2 seconds.
A little maybe. A little something. Okay. And I feel like I also feel like, I don't know if anyone's like this, but I normally can like gauge my clips. I know automatically like what part of the clip I'm going to like. Are you the same way?
I was just about to ask you, how are you just selecting the part and then just splitting it?
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's because I know myself, and I think when you do it enough times, like you start to kind of realize and recognize like what you like to keep. See, like that's my outfit. See, guys, it was this morning.
Wow. Okay. We're getting current.
It like this was my morning. You guys basically came along the morning with me.
I love it.
So, and I'm like, I know that I like when my lipstick's almost done. And
y'all don't want to see what I looked like this morning. Oh no. Did not look like that.
Neither did I when I woke up, to be fair, again. Okay, so I'll add maybe this clip right here. We don't need the whole lipstick going on, but like just a second, you know what I mean?
Paloma said real-time content here for it. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll do that for my next Adobe live stream.
You totally should, and it's so much fun. See, guys, my outfit.
It's like you did that this morning.
Right?
You planned this.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use this little one right here. Perfect.
Oh, I love it.
A little moment had to show the outfit, right? Cute.
So cute.
So this was my drive over now.
Wow, it looks so sunny. That was this morning.
It was, and it was so nice.
Now we're looking at clips from this morning, chat.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, I had to stop. I was like, these like pieces of artwork. I love seeing like things that are laid around the streets everywhere. Even in Toronto, like I feel like my husband and I, we love like going and just looking at like the different creations around the city, and it's so much fun and so cool to see everything everyone creates.
Yeah.
So.
Let me guess what floor that is. That's in front of the office, I think.
Can you see?
Is it?
I was also trying to film and walk at the same time, and it wasn't coming out too well. Yes, it was outside, right, walking in.
This is the side entrance with
Now you guys get to see the Adobe office.
I actually don't know what floor that is. I'm pretty sure it's one of the side ones.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'll keep that.
Welcome to the office, y'all. Oh, you got the A.
Yes, we had to keep in the little A at the front desk. Yeah. It's so cute.
Is this your first time here?
No, I've been here a couple of times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And you should see my camera roll, because I have like 32 of the same Adobe Office clips just from like every time that I'm coming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let me film at the sign. It's so exciting.
It looks so nice today.
Yeah. And there was you and Lucas live.
Wow.
Because today's a full live stream event.
It
I'm going to let you
is.
talk about that one, girl.
Yes, we are live streaming all day today. If we could pull up the schedule really quick. But we are pretty much talking about TikTok today, again, celebrating the launch of the TikTok Symphony Assistant. Right now we're talking about their day in my life vlog using Adobe Express with Brittney, and then at 11 we're doing convert long form content like a pro with Lucas and Brittney, and then at 12 we're doing TikTok promo made easy in Adobe Express with Emma and Ellie. I'm super excited, so stay tuned for more streams and to hear more of how people are using Adobe Express to create content for TikTok.
In their everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, how great is
Everyday
that?
You know, I was wondering, like, if all of our streams were going to be different because behind the scenes, y'all, I didn't know what anyone was making.
Right.
So I was like, oh, what if another person does travel? Like, I'm not sure. Like, maybe
Like,
it'll be
how?
fine. Like, we
Right.
edit differently, but
Right.
it's crazy how it worked out. We're all talking about different things.
It's so true. And, like, even though you and I both kind of created a vlog, they're so different.
Yeah.
So different. And that's why I feel like, you know, make sure that you're tuning in to all the streams today if you can, because you will learn different nuggets from everybody and it will just help you elevate your creative workflow.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That was very eloquently said.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I think we have just a little bit more than what I would want to kind of share. How long do you normally make your TikTok videos when they're vlogs? It's hard.
Ooh, if I'm not talking in them, they're 30 seconds.
Right.
But if I am talking, a girl could talk. So
Same.
So on TikTok, I'll probably do maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3. On YouTube, I'll do the full horizontal 15-minute vlog video. But yeah, it really depends. But I try to not go over 3 minutes.
I think it's one of those things, again, with your content. And one thing I love about TikTok is you can post short form video content that is a little bit longer. I think you have 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Is it 3? I think it's 3.
I think 10 also. On some.
Which is
sometimes.
so cool. And I feel like something that I always struggle with when I'm filming for Instagram is that your content needs to be under 90 seconds.
Right.
So it's okay, if I want to use this in both places, I need this to be 90 seconds, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this video through and see where we can kind of clean up the clips a little bit more and shorten it just a little bit more, because right now we're at about 1 minute and 41 seconds in terms of length.
Wow.
Can you see it? No, not yet. It's there. I promise you. It's in the corner.
Right there.
There we go. Thank you. Us making production's job hard, because I'm we need to show the time. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to shorten this up to about 1 minute and 30 seconds so that it can work in both places, because I am all about getting the most mileage for your content. Okay, let's play this and see what happens. Cute.
Nice.
So this here, I can already tell this one can be shorter. I feel like that we don't need a whole second.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's it's weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a feeling you get
Right.
once a clip starts dragging.
Yeah, and you're and the thing is too, you want your clips to be snappy so that people are not just closing your content because
Right.
they're bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's a really good intuition to have as a creator. If you feel like it's dragging, it is dragging. Cut it.
Right.
So
Also, I'm walking, but, do we need to see, 7 steps of me walking? Probably not. 2 or 3 is enough.
yeah, because if you can't even stay in tune with your own video, other people will tune out as
Exactly.
well. So
Exactly.
definitely use that as a gauge for how long you want your clips to be.
Exactly. That's such a good point. Okay. And I normally try to keep each individual clip itself, if it's kind of more behind the scenes moments, I want to say between a second to a second and a half. Are you the same way? Do you pay attention to that?
Yeah.
So I feel like anything more than that, it does feel a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. So I can already tell this clip if I just...
Unless there's like a lot of movement or things
right.
happening.
Then you make it a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
We had to keep the little wiggle of the Starbucks drink in.
I don't know what it is. Okay. Let me know in chat if you can relate. But when I go to the airport, this is a random side story as you're editing. But my mind goes on autopilot and I have to get breakfast. Even if it's 3 in the morning, my flight's at 5, I'm getting a bagel sandwich for some reason. Am I going to eat it?
Probably
Maybe not, but just on autopilot.
It's an emotional support breakfast.
I think so. I was like analyzing myself. Like every time I've been to the airport, I've always had to get like either egg bites, a bagel sandwich, not coffee because coffee does not make me feel good first thing in the morning. A matcha.
That was what I was drinking, a matcha. Mm-hmm. And I got a banana loaf. So in case you guys were wondering.
Oh, man. And then he said, it is impressive how fast you got all these clips cut and edited down.
Right? I'm telling you, I would take the credit, but I truly think it's Adobe Express that needs the crown for this one because I'm not this quick when it comes to editing, even in Premiere. Like, it would take me a lot longer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I love this little car so much. It had to stay in there. Let's see, like, that clip, that's another one that we can... And look, we're almost at 1 minute and 30 seconds already. So this is like a great indicator again of like when you can kind of chop things down a little bit, and I'm gonna maybe shorten this a little bit more.
Valerie said, yes, pro breakfast. Yes.
Okay, so if I'm wondering how it's gonna look if I kind of like cut it to skip that whole takeoff, but like you still kind of see the overview because I don't want to lose.
Yeah, because you can see it ascending.
Okay, that's not bad, right?
That's fine.
Okay, I'm glad that I had your words of affirmation on that one because I was like, am I the only one that thinks that would be okay? Okay, cute. Love it. It's coming together so nicely.
Nice.
That was me editing photos in Lightroom on the plane.
Oh, that's a good tip. Oh, I love editing photos on Lightroom.
It's such a game changer, I feel like.
Yeah.
We had like lots of plane clips, if you can't tell. I was very obsessed with the plane.
Nice. And you're driving. Okay, we're going.
I almost feel like that clip, too, could be a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm. Now, right now, chat, if you're just tuning in, we are just fine-tuning the clips of the rough cut. And, yeah, we're just watching back the footage. It's looking really good. Oh, my gosh. In the beginning of the stream, none of your clips were edited. So
no, they were just dropped in here.
Anthony said, as soon as I land, then it's breakfast time. Yes. Oliver said, I'm editing photos in Lightroom right now.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, we love a productive moment. You make it look so easy.
The theme is productivity today.
I think so. Except for me, I sleep on the plane. I just go to sleep.
That's okay, too.
I'll be the most productive in the last 40 minutes of the flight. Because that's when I have to start getting my mind right for whatever event I'm doing. Oh, it's so good.
It's turning out so cute.
Oh, I ate that croissant.
It was so good, right? Okay, so I feel like for the most part, we're at now 1 minute and 20 seconds, 21 seconds. So I feel like we're right within the amount of time that I would really want to do. Now the goal is going to be, can I record a voiceover in one shot and it like...
If I could do it, you could do it.
I feel like I need your good jubes. I'm assuming we're going to have to put these on so that I can hear, right?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Okay, let's do this and let's see what happens. Okay. I feel like the pressure's on because I'm not used to like recording a voiceover with anybody but myself.
Right? Don't worry, I won't look. I'm not here.
Let's see.
I'm not here.
Okay. Oh.
We need to get perms.
Can I go back?
Yeah. Adobe Express. Yeah, so while Brittney's getting that set up, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We are live from the San Francisco office. So we're talking all about TikTok today, celebrating the launch of the TikTok Symphony Assistant. And we're back.
We're good. We're good to go.
We're good. Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not here.
No pressure, but pressure.
No
we can
pressure.
do this. Okay. Welcome to a day in my life vlog. I'm going to take you behind the scenes with me because we are headed to Adobe San Francisco for a live stream to celebrate the new TikTok Symphony add-on in Adobe Express. And you can see here, I have jumped on the plane. I was so obsessed with this little car, guys. I had to film a clip. And now we are getting ready for the takeoff. And it's always so cool when you get to see Toronto from up above like this. And I'm always looking for ways to be productive. So of course, had to edit on the plane as well. And just like that, we are in San Francisco and officially landed. And then I was waiting for my bag. There she is. You can obviously tell because it's pink that it was mine. And as we're getting ready to head over to the hotel, I had to film a bunch of behind the scenes clips of how gorgeous San Francisco is for you. Checking into the hotel, it was such a creative hub, this hotel, I feel like. There was lots of cool features about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep right away because I had jet lag. I was super tired. So I'm gonna flash to this morning for you, getting ready to head into the office. And just like that, we are now heading over to the Adobe office and getting ready for our day of live streams. So make sure you tune in. I can't wait to see you there. Let's celebrate this new creative add-on together. Do you think that that was okay?
Excuse me, what? How did you just...
One shot wonder. And I think like the biggest thing is like for me, the pressure of having you guys here. I was like, don't mess this up. So let's go ahead and play it back.
I am the opposite. I mess everything up.
How was yours when you were recording?
Oh, did you not hear it?
I was like filming behind the scenes for the stories.
Oh, chat can tell you how that went.
Okay, let's give it a listen back and see how that turned out. Welcome to a day in my life vlog. I'm going to take you behind the scenes with me because we are headed to Adobe San Francisco for a live stream to celebrate the new TikTok Symphony add-on in Adobe Express. And you can see here, I have jumped on the plane. I was so obsessed with this little car, guys. I had to film a clip. And now we are getting ready for the takeoff. And it's always so cool when you get to see Toronto from up above like this. And I'm always looking for ways to be productive. So of course, had to edit on the plane as well. And just like that, we are in San Francisco and officially landed. And then I was waiting for my bag. There she is. You can obviously tell because it's pink that it was mine. And as we're getting ready to head over to the hotel, I had to film a bunch of behind the scenes clips of how gorgeous San Francisco is for you. Checking into the hotel, it was such a creative hub, this hotel, I feel like. There was lots of cool features about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep right away because I had jet lag. I was super tired. So I'm gonna flash to this morning for you, getting ready to head into the office. And just like that, we are now heading over to the Adobe office and getting ready for our day of live streams. So make sure you tune in. I can't wait to see you there. Let's celebrate this new creative add-on together. Oh, that was so good.
It was so good. It was perfect.
Can we get some like love in the chat so that I know we're just not hyping this up for no reason? Like, it was so perfect. And as I was kind of going through, I did notice I had one or two clips that I still need to mute. So good thing that I listened to it back so that you don't hear all of that craziness going on.
Yeah. Darlene said you had lots of info. When I asked, told chat how it went, Keys went, it was like, this is New Jersey. It starts laughing. He said that voiceover is pro. Yes.
I'm
Great
so
job.
glad. I feel like this turned out so well. I think.
Yeah.
How many minutes do we have left?
We have a little bit, 5-ish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's add some text on screen.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the next thing for sure.
Definitely. Give it a nice, catchy title.
Yes.
And he said, "Let's go!" I'm so hyped. I was so hyped during that voiceover. Oh my gosh. If you watch the stream back, just like
I'm going to go watch just to see what it was all
my
about.
facial expression was so impressed.
I love it.
That was great. A professional.
Okay, so we're going to choose Socials and Stilettos, which is my business branding. And you can
love
see
that.
all of the pinks come up. So that's how you know it's me. Hold on a second. Let me move this up.
Nice. We're changing the color. Do you have a brand font you use?
I do. This is it here. It is a little bit more of a custom font that we purchased outside and kind of uploaded it and brought it into Adobe Express and all of the platforms that we use. And I love that. I think it really allows us to be super unique with the types of fonts that we're using too. So it is a little funner. I will say with this font specifically, it's like best in small amounts of words and then like maybe mixing it with a few other fonts.
Nice. Penny said, "I was holding my breath during the voiceover." I think we all were. It was really good. Anthony said, "Do you use a script for your voiceovers?"
No, I had no script up like at all. I will say sometimes if there's like, I want to say maybe a project that I'm working on that has like very specific bullet points that I need to make sure are included. I only put bullet points down. I won't use a script still because I feel like, and tell me if you think the same way, but like for me, if there's a script there, I am going to read the script and it's not going to sound natural. It's not going to sound organic. So it's almost better to kind of retake it 3, 4, 5 times if you need to. But then I know that I'm coming off like truly authentic to the way that I'm speaking than me trying to read a script and it feel like super, super odd or like inauthentic to me.
Nice. So just getting in the text here.
I'm going to say maybe come with me, fly with me, travel with me, let's go to
Adobe SF.
I'm going to say come with me. Come with me to, or actually we'll put maybe Adobe Live SF and then we'll put maybe above something that says come along with me to, I think that sounds good.
That looks great.
And then we're going to change the font because like I was saying, this font is only good in small, I want to say small doses. But I love it so much. I'll never change the font. So let me see.
Nice. Do you feel the race against the clock?
I do.
Just a
The
little
pressure's
bit.
on.
We got a little bit silent and we're just like, no, you're going to make it. I believe.
I'm going to make sure to align these so that they are center. And I'm somebody who, like, by the way, I really love to let's show my layer timing so I can see only kind of extended over the first clip, I think, because I don't want it to like take up the whole thing. But if for some reason, let me ungroup this and bring them a little bit closer together. My anxiety is going to go off the wall if they're not.
I love that. All right, so while you're finishing up, thank you all so much for tuning in. We have a lot of streams for the rest of the day today. We're going until 1 p.m. This session was about day in my life vlog editing with Brittney. And then we have converting long-form content like a pro. And then at 12, we have TikTok promo made easy in Adobe Express. So we still got more streams to go. Stay tuned in. Did we do it?
Yeah, it's
we
there.
got it.
It's good to go.
We made it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you learned something today. So try out the new TikTok Symphony Assistant in Adobe Express. And yeah, stay tuned, and we'll see you again shortly.
So the story we're looking at today is my friend VJ and I, we've discussed the idea of having a podcast. VJ has already designed some awesome carousel posts. So right away, I'm just gonna go ahead, start from content, find that file that VJ shared with me. And what it's doing right now is just turning all the Illustrator elements into a template that I can work with, edit, and really manipulate and change anything I want, all in Express. And what's awesome about this is it recognizes, okay,
all of that,
he put in text. You know, he gave me the mold, he gave me the template, I'm adding in, copying and pasting, and now I wanna add in my image to go with it. VJ designed me a great profile picture. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pop in that profile picture, and this is actually a Photoshop file that I'm gonna go ahead and put in. I leave a note for VJ and I say, doesn't have the same filter. Anything you can help me out with that?
So this is you collaborating with him
right?
in Express, adding comments.
And he says, you know what, Lucas? I can help you with that super easily. And as you notice, like you mentioned, it's a linked asset. As soon as I clicked on that, I get this nice little unique option
To edit in Photoshop.
open in Photoshop. And then what it's doing is bringing in that profile picture. Here's the one we're working with. VJ, knowing that I'd probably need a little helping hand, he's gonna go ahead and add it in. So there's the layer with the black and gray that I wanted. It's a little bit bigger. He's gonna do this from his house. He's doing it from his computer. He's saving it. Let's pop back. And it's already telling me that. It's already saying at the bottom there. So what everyone's seeing is your linked asset has changed. It sensed that VJ from his computer went ahead, saw my prompt here, and he said, yep, I can help Lucas with that. I'm gonna go ahead and change up that profile picture. All I have to do, click update, and it's gonna go ahead. And there it is right there.
Boom.
One thing I could really do, we wanna share this. So again, there's options. I'm gonna go ahead though, and we're gonna schedule that because we wanna share it to Instagram. So I have my Instagram, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule it. I just typed in a nice caption to schedule this post. You can see it's linked to my Instagram account. That's not the only platform you have. You can also schedule it to multiple platforms, which is awesome. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Has some great features too. Instagram, you can only have 30 hashtags. And as I was entering hashtags, right? Hashtag business podcast. It is actually counting down character limit and the hashtag limit. So I'm gonna go ahead, it is scheduled. There it is. And I can see, got my post right there. I'm gonna show how to make a quick little promo post. And the template I used is actually just for a clearance sale. This doesn't match my brand elements. I'm gonna show how easy it is to make it match me and VJ's brand that we designed together. I won't be using this image, but let's go ahead and just do some quick swaps, changing the background color. My whole color palette here is fully loaded for our podcast. We're gonna make the background black. There we go, new podcast. So if I just click on any image element, you go ahead and effects will be right here. It already had one applied, but I'm gonna go ahead and change it to be our own, which is gonna match our brand colors, but I'm gonna go ahead and just make it our nice solid neon green. We're gonna change this to listen now, but I'm using all the stuff that was already placed for me, right? So this one is an example, this is a shape. So this one I don't have to apply the duotones. It's super easy for me to just actually use and apply our brand colors. And there's those guides again, these grids for me to do that. There we go, group those two guys together.
Probably.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pop in two pictures of VJ and I. I'm clicking on him, and right here on the left, remove background. Super easy, there he is. But let's go ahead and just make it so we're both in black and grayscale. And it's super easy to just change around, extend my border, making it right at home with the format. We wanna make sure it matches the nuances of this new content format. Just super easy to have the content change to the right size. So let's have some fun with animations, because that's what Instagram stories are all about. I like tumble, tumble's good. Let's have it tumble in, there we go. If you wanna animate multiple elements together, you just group them. Right from the start, there we go, new podcast. I like when stories have that podcast play icon. I'm gonna use just a piece of a template onto our story that we're designing. Cool. So I went on templates and I typed play button. I like this one. This one's pretty good looking. Add it as a page.
Ah, so it doesn't replace your existing one.
Doesn't remove anything. These are all intros, right? I have it popping in, the second it's in their face. Looping is really fun too. And I like to have messages just kind of like wiggling or pulsing, like the key topic.
Stay tuned for more Adobe Express content.
Thanks everybody.
Hey Adobe Live family, welcome back. We are live streaming all day on an exciting new feature inside of Adobe Express, the TikTok Symphony add-on. And I'm joined by Lucas, my fellow Canadian.
Yes.
And today we're gonna be Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the stream.
Yeah, so what we are doing is we're taking long form content, those longer videos. In this case, it's going to be a podcast recording, but also what you might find on YouTube or in other formats. And we're going to turn it into that format that all the social media platforms want today, which is short form video. So your typical vertical TikTok or Instagram Reels style. Super important we're talking about this today because the new TikTok Symphony Assistant came out, and that is what we are going to be using as an add-on. Now, I won't be sharing it directly because of YouTube copyright. I won't be able to show the music, but what this lets you do is find commercially usable music for TikTok videos from the commercial music library on TikTok and actually put it into your video, directly export to TikTok. So this is for my podcast that I have with my friend Vishal. It is called, and I see some podcast producers and podcast lovers in the chat. That is awesome. But this is our business, right? This is our podcast. It's called Creator Juice. I have some graphics I designed on a previous Adobe Live, actually.
These are so cool, by the way. They're so great.
We love the retro video game throwback. I know I mentioned this in the last stream, but I love this aesthetic so much. So we've incorporated it in a lot of our content. But it is our business. We have to be careful with what audio clips and what music clips we're using.
Right.
So that's why the being able to access the TikTok commercial music library and keeping it super safe and able to be used for commercial purposes is very important.
Which is so exciting. In the 90s, baby, and me is screaming with your graphics, by the way. And we're going to go ahead and roll a clip to show you all about the new TikTok Symphony add-on. It is so incredible, and it's just going to elevate the way that you're creating short-form video content.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh. Let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call his new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, cup.
So as you can see, like perfect ad promo content in particular, and you got to be careful what music you're using for that. We don't want to get in any trouble with our podcast. So what I have here today is every time we record our podcast, and I wonder if the other podcast producers and podcast lovers in the chat will agree with this, we always try to get the most out of our content by not just recording an audio. Yeah, sometimes we wake up early in the morning and we don't want to be on video, but we always try to make sure that we get video footage out of the recording.
Right.
So we can do exactly this.
It's what I love to call like getting the most mileage for your content, because
Yes.
like it is shooting yourself in the foot if you were not getting video, but you're recording podcasts.
And you always want to get the video, and the worst part is not having it when you need it.
Right.
I just saw your stream where you shared all the B-roll you have.
Yes.
And to know, like, I'm jealous because whenever I want B-roll and I'm going to
You
use
don't
some
have
B-roll footage, I don't have it. And then it's very forced to go like, all right, let me go change into 5 outfits and then
Right.
try to make some now. So what we have here is just the live stream. I'm going to play the clip, but pretty much geared for long form to short form content. What we have here is I want to start with a good hook, which means I'm starting off with a question asked to my co-host VJ here. And I want someone scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram Reels to see that, hear the question, and then say, yeah, I have wondered that, and then to watch the rest of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and put some headphones on so we can listen to it. Let me just tone down the volume a little bit, just so it doesn't blast anybody. But I'm going to play the full clip. This is something I already snipped, but I'm going to get creative with the timeline down here and actually do some other fun things to add in some more engagement for my audience.
I'm excited.
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media? So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off. 4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience. 1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And 1 of them, 4-1-1, is a hard sell. So directly pushing your products and services. Okay.
I love that.
So what we're dealing with that is, I like it already. I could probably post that and be pretty happy with it.
Right.
But we're in Adobe Express. We're going to have some fun with it and make
Yes.
it more engaging because audience engagement is everything nowadays. I'm actually going to keep the headphones on. You don't have to, but I'm just going to, as I clip, make sure I have the right stuff.
Sounds good. And it's like just adding a little bit of spice. And before you get started, Lucas, I'd love to know, like, do you edit your podcast? Is it like, where did you get this clip from?
We do it all.
Okay.
So he and I, we make sure we record our webcam footage as we do it. We record the audio. So I actually had the chance to live stream with Katrina earlier, and she showed how easy it is to use. I didn't do this, but now I'm going to start. She showed how easy it is to use grids right here to be able to have one video on top of the other.
Right.
I got to get into that for my workflow after this. That's my key takeaway, because that's going to help for sure.
And that's the cool thing about these live streams is no matter how seasoned you are as a creative professional or brand new, you're always going to learn something juicy to take away.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm going to be doing is listening, and I want to chop this up into building blocks, as I call them. Like I said, I could probably post this video as is, but I would like to be able to swap in and out some different clips with B-roll, or to have some on-screen elements popping in, similar to the video you just shared, which was awesome, by the way.
Thank you. And I love this. I'm so excited to see how you take this and make it, I want to say it's already amazing. So I don't want to say even better because it's already great.
You can say it.
I love that. And hello in the chat. We have lots of also fellow Canadians. So hello.
We're a great community.
I love it.
So I'm gonna press play, and then as I get to the part I want, I'm gonna pause and split, and I'll show how quick I can do that.
Okay.
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media? So pause, and that's where I want my clip to be, so we're gonna split. That's my first building block.
I love this. And when you're kind of choosing where to split it, are you just listening for like where you're taking a breath, that kind of pause?
Yeah, where the sentence ends. Yep, exactly. When I edited the long form, which would be a lot more boring if I had done this on stream, so I made sure to clip it first. But when I do that, I also try to make sure I'm cutting at that moment too.
Love it.
So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week.
There we go. That's a good sentence, good concept.
Taking a day off. 4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience.
There we go. Talked about what the first part of the concept I'm talking about here is.
1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business.
There we go. Got to get that last little word out there.
And 1 of them, 4-1-1, is a hard sell. So directly pushing your products and services.
There we go. So that's my full clip. And now we can do some fun stuff with it. At the end, I am going to add some on-screen captions because that is so important for accessibility, but also engagement. Not everybody watches with sound on. I know I personally don't.
Same.
But I want that to be my last step. But we can have some fun here. We can add in some B-roll footage. So let's find a good spot. I always want me on screen talking for the first part because that's the hook. If you listen, when I ask this question.
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media?
I'm not actually asking that to VJ, my co-host.
Right.
I'm asking that to the viewer on TikTok.
Right.
I'm asking that to the viewer of the short form video. So they're thinking, I have no idea what he's talking about. And I find that's a very important way to start, is ask the question first. Yeah, I could move these around and drag them around and switch up the order, which I'll do on another video later. But I want them to hear that and say, I have no idea what the 4-1-1 strategy for social media is.
Right.
Let me watch the rest of this video and see what he has to say. So that is very important.
It's such a good tip. And I also think, too, the structure of how this is filmed, like you could film this exact same piece of content with you just kind of sitting, chatting to the camera. But this is going to have so much more of an impact because people are nosy and they're like, what's this conversation about?
So I'm going to find the first part where I want to put in some B-roll footage because I don't want it just to be him and I talking, right?
Assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off.
I actually want to clip that part too. There we go.
4 of those.
So this part's talking about educational content. So let's go ahead and put in some educational content to go with it. So I'm going to go over to videos and let's see. Education. Let's see what comes up. So this is about the importance of content that is teaching people something that they're going to have a good takeaway from and learn from. So maybe I want to go ahead. I do like to look for the vertical videos to start. I wish I was talking about guitar. Let's go ahead and put this one in there.
And it's nice when it's vertical because you don't really have to change much with the format of the video. So it kind of makes your life a little simpler.
There are some great ones that can be molded even if they are horizontal. But you know what? If it's vertical, it's vertical. And I love that Adobe Express has a good variety of both formats.
Which is so awesome because no matter what kind of video content you're creating, there's always going to be something there for you. And if you guys haven't actually taken a look at Lucas's Instagram, you're going to see this is something that you do with a lot of your content actually. And you're so great at it. And I think it makes it so engaging to watch your content as well. I'm sure we can get maybe one of the mods to drop it in the chat for you guys. Don't go look now. Don't leave us. But later, definitely go check out his content because you'll take a lot away from it.
And I see some people tuning into the chat from Instagram. Hey, Ryan, she said, started posting more videos thanks to Lucas's tips, and I'm getting great engagement. I started posting more videos thanks to just seeing everybody else creating, and it was a little intimidating at first, but I'm glad I started. And doing formats like this, where when VJ and I recorded this, it was he and I having a conversation, doing our podcast. It wasn't like, okay, I have to get ready for a TikTok video. It's only me on camera. I think this kind of raw, authentic, genuine, on the fly, behind the scenes content really works right now.
I love that.
So what I'm doing is I'm incorporating
4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience.
So I'm talking about educational content and just have a B-roll footage of someone taking notes, which I think is important. And what I hope you notice there is I kept speaking. It's still me talking in the background.
4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining.
Right? And it's just a break for my audience from seeing VJ and I just sitting. Yeah, they're coming to this video for the learning and the concept we're teaching, but it's also nice to have that split mixed in there. I like to go A, B, A, B if we're talking about our basic patterning, which is flipping back and forth between me on screen, B-roll, me on screen, B-roll. So this one I might split it in half and do a bit of both. Let's see what I start saying.
1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or
so I'm going to go right after where it says soft sell.
Be a soft sell for your business.
I'm going to clip it there, or split it there, I should say. And that's where now, because I talk for a while, 7 seconds, I love how at the bottom here it tells me how long each of these little building blocks or snips are. Instead of it being 7 seconds, I'm going to talk for 3. And then for 4.5 seconds, that's where we'll put some more B-roll back in there.
I love that.
So that was me talking about a soft sell for my business. So I'm thinking of like a secret or like whispering, right? So let's see. Let's try whispering, because you're selling something, but you're doing it discreetly. You're not necessarily doing like a buy my products or service now. Try this right away.
Right. It's not so in your face.
Right. So this one is vertical. This one is horizontal, but it's great to show the different varieties. This one looks like I'll be able to clip it pretty easy because these two, the subject, they're right in the middle.
Yes.
Should be good to go. A little tip I like to look for in advance. Before I click on it and bring it into the video, I try to think, okay, how is this going to fit if I do have to zoom in really close?
That's such a great tip.
Let's go fill video. Again, I can move it if I need to, but I actually like how they both fit.
Yeah.
And the guidelines being there for me to make sure that I have it centered is key. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do love how it lines it up perfectly for the length of the building block or the track.
Right.
So it's a 4.5 second. It's not going to be using any of this. I could drag it and I could show that part of the 4.5 seconds, but I like that it's lined up. When I've used video overlays, like years ago, I used to have to like perfectly line it up and then clip it so they're the exact same length. So it's so nice to be able to do this.
It's so true. And even when you're adding text on screen, it's the same thing. It makes it so easy. And as you're kind of looking at that clip, my question's going to be is how do you know which part of the clip that you want to choose?
Yeah. So do you mean my clip of me recording the podcast or the B-roll
Of the
here?
B-roll here.
So I try to just make sure that there's action or motion involved. And I'm so glad you brought that up because let's see if I got the motion. I think I got this one individual walking up to the other individual.
So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And one of them...
That was actually like perfect timing though. Like I actually cannot even right now.
It almost looks like, it's funny because the video is like, I'm pretty sure they're like sharing gossip at the office or a secret, but this works. And I like this example because I'm already talking about business, content strategy. I'm already talking about that. They hear that from my voice, from my words. So I like to use B-roll footage that is something relatable, but slightly different as well, because it brings that connection and makes it more relatable for my audience viewing it too.
It's so true. And I think like even just the way that you consume content, and I'd love to know about you guys in the chat. For me, I think like if I see B-rolls pop up about this, I'm actually thinking about what the content creator is saying versus like just watching the video.
Yes, exactly. So let's see what we have so far. And we'll see where we feel like changing some things up or adding some more B-roll. Let's watch. Here's what I like to do. Let's watch it. And we're going to say, when do I feel like they're talking for too long without anything changing?
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media? So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off. 4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience. 1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And 1 of them, 4-1-1, is a hard sell. So directly pushing your products and services.
So I think I might just clip this one, and then when I start to say what a hard sell is, I'll put some more B-roll.
1 is a hard sell.
And the great thing is, I find when I first started doing this, I was very tempted to only put B-roll, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because you're great at using B-roll. I used to only incorporate B-roll after I finished the sentence or after I finished the thought. And I've since switched over to mid-sentence. I might throw something in because it's just another way visually. The audience is already listening to me speak. So why not visually also add in a hook or a change in scene?
Right.
And it gives me more opportunities to fit it in as well.
I think so too. And I think, and oh my gosh, any creative video professionals don't come for me in the chat, but I'm pretty sure it's called a J cut when you kind of are talking and then it moves into a different clip and then it comes back to you, but it's like so seamless the way that I might be wrong. Maybe Jacob knows.
Hopefully we have some people in the chat.
But I think it's so cool and it does really keep it interacting. As you're just jumping in, I want to take a second to welcome everybody that's just jumping into the chat. We are with Lucas and he's creating a cut down of a long form video content into something that he can create and post on TikTok. And we are also celebrating a launch in office here of the new TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on in Adobe Express, and we're going to go ahead and roll the clip for you just because we can't show due to YouTube copyright, but let's go ahead and roll the clip so you can see what all the hype is all about.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do. The thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh. Let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call his new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wallet.
All right, and the awesome way to show that too is just if you go to your add-ons, there are so many amazing Adobe Express add-ons, by the way, that are just like, do so many extra things I had no idea existed, which is awesome. But on desktop, just go to your add-ons. You should be able to find the TikTok Symphony Assistant. You might have to search TikTok, one word. I see that mistake a lot. People do tick space talk. One word. How to tell that you're not Gen Z. You spell TikTok, tick space talk. But you can add it in there and find tons of music for your podcast promotion in this case, but also for your business. I love it. So what I just added here, and I think I'm pretty much done with this in terms of B-roll footage. And we did have some people in the chat specify a J and L cut is the ones we're looking for.
There we go. Thank you for that.
I'm gonna run this through and just show. And my idea is I like how it's going, not too aggressively or jumpy, but I like how it's going from us speaking to B-roll, to us speaking to B-roll.
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media? So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off. 4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience. 1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And 1 of them, 4-1-1, is a hard sell. So directly pushing your products and services.
I have that same jean skirt. I just thought
Go
of
back
that. But you know what I was going to say with the way that you've actually added these in, I don't know if you've noticed, but it gives people enough time to think about the point that you're making, and then it
Oh.
shows the clip. So you'll say a soft sell, and then you'll think about it, and then you'll show a clip that makes you kind of connect these pieces together. And I don't even know if you realize you're like doing
didn't.
that unintentionally, but it's so perfect.
That's a great tip too, is to just, if you are wondering, what should I be doing for my content? Is this the right call? Think of human nature and think of yourself as your best experimental subject, is what I will say. Look at the content you like to watch. Look at the content that naturally grabs your attention. See if they're jumping from scene to scene or clip to clip like this, and
Right.
learn from that is my best tip. And really the secrets to great content creation are right in front of our eyes and ears if you think about it that way.
It's so true. And you got to be social on social media. Like, get into the platform, see what's working for other people, and try and then figure out what you like to do and what's going to work for you.
I love it. So I'm going to try a cool film burn that I just saw Katrina doing on our live together, because I didn't know this existed. And one of my favorite things to do on live stream is just to pick up additional skills from the many other content creators I get the chance to work with, and also to apply them to my own practice and to my own content. I love that about Adobe Express. Like we said with the add-ons, I feel like there are just so many hidden gems or ways I will use a tool that someone else wouldn't have thought of, or
Right.
vice versa, the way someone else will use a tool that I wouldn't have thought of trying. So let's put this into the intro and go ahead. I'm gonna fill that one because it's supposed to be zoomed in anyways. And what did she do? She blended it. There we go. Blend screen. Love it. It worked.
This is so cool.
That shows how quick and easy it is to learn things, because
Yeah.
I learned this from Katrina an hour ago. And this is the first time I tried it, but it was 2 clicks and I'm done.
I love this. And it adds a little bit of texture to your video, which is so cool.
And I'm just going to put it in the intro, which I like as the effect that I saw her do as well. So let's see how that looks.
Have you heard of this 4-1-1 strategy for posting on social media? So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off. 4 of those 6.
I love it. I won't play it. People have heard me say the same thing 7 times, so I won't play it for too long.
I don't know if you're like this, but I actually don't mind listening to myself back talking. Like, some people are like, oh, I can't ever stand the sound of myself talking. And I'm like, you get used to it, really, right?
I'm now finally in the boat of getting used to it.
Yes.
But for a very long time, I was not used to it. So I'm glad to now be in that situation, which is good.
So what are we doing now, Lucas?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is, I find, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, we will be adding on-screen captions in a moment, and we'll be using Adobe Express for that. So it'll be dictating what I'm speaking. But I find that you need that 1-2 punch of not just on-screen captions for the people who listen without sound on, but also a title card to talk about what you're talking about right in the beginning.
Right.
Now, you can do these directly in TikTok, but I like to do them in Adobe Express because it stands out and there's a lot more options to be included as well. So let's go down the social heading and just find a nice text box.
And I feel like you can brand these things so much better in Adobe Express.
For
It's
sure.
unreal how you can elevate your content with your own fonts, your own colors,
Yep.
everything. I also see in the chat that Key said, I only used to listen to podcasts, but a lot of them started doing things that required seeing the video, which is so true. And I'm actually curious to ask everyone in chat, do you prefer to watch podcasts or listen to podcasts? Because I've recently been somebody that prefers to watch them. How about you?
I'm a listener. I usually listen to podcasts while I'm driving, and to incorporate video and that would be dangerous. But it's very cool to see that there are different perspectives and different parties on this, which is very interesting because it highlights how important it is to have this element for
Yes.
the audience who doesn't just listen to audio.
It's so true. And out of one podcast episode, are your episodes normally 30 minutes, an hour?
About 30 minutes is what we go for.
And how many shortcut social clips like this would you say you can get out of one episode?
So I have 3 we're going to work with today based on how much time we have. And I had to choose from probably 12 that I could have gone through. And just to make my workflow more efficient, what I do while I'm watching and editing the audio is I listen and I look for those timestamps of, okay, that was a good point that I can turn into a video clip. let me go ahead and make that, a video clip later.
I love
Super
that.
important just to maximize your time.
I love that so much. And like you think about out of one episode, you could really get like 10 to 12 video clips.
Yes.
Like your content is set, Lucas. Like, you don't got to worry about anything.
Well, and I have my personal brand.
Yeah.
VJ has his personal brand. That's the account we shared earlier. This is our collaborative podcast account. So we're already
Right.
making so much content for our own personal brands. So being able to repurpose this collaborative content is so important for us, which is
It's like
great.
a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to make it more visible and just add some backgrounds and fills. So I actually have our Creator Juice brand kit here saved in Adobe Express, which is nice. I haven't put a color palette, but it's actually from the last time I've used it. It's recognizing the colors I use. So that's on me for not preparing in advance. But here it is covering my back right now. I'm going to make the font just nice colored. Like I said, we use the video game retro-y look. So we're going to go ahead and I chose this text box that is very much video game, pixel style to begin with.
I love the pixelated look.
Let's do all caps. I just got my Mac. I always say this when I'm live. I say this like I got a Mac yesterday. I got a Mac not too long ago, so I'm always still learning the keyboard and whatnot.
Yes,
when
and the
I'm typing.
shortcuts. How long ago?
Okay, I got it a year ago. But,
Okay.
but after a whole life
Of like HP or like
Yeah.
Windows, right? And I remember the first time I opened up like a Mac computer, I'm looking at the keyboard and I'm thinking like, okay. And then I'm looking at the computer screen. I'm like, where is everything?
yeah.
Like, it's really like learning something all over again from scratch. But
One of my favorite text features in Adobe Express is the dynamic shaping.
Same.
Yeah, it's so good. It makes everything just line up right from the start, which is great. So I want this coming in the 411 method.
Have you heard of this 411 strategy for
And yeah, this arrow came with the template I used. So let's make it point to my face. Why not? I'm going to and then just group them. And I want this coming on and popping and grabbing attention, which is great. We see keys pointing out it's 2 impressions. Yeah, it's getting video. It's also getting podcast. And
right.
my goal with this is we're going to post it to TikTok. That gives us a whole new audience who maybe, our personal brands are largely on Instagram.
Right.
But because we don't have a personal brand on TikTok, that could be a whole audience we're never connecting with and meeting.
Right.
So now that we can repurpose this so easily for TikTok, then have our podcast account, we're opening ourselves up to new listeners.
It's so true. I love this so much.
So I mentioned earlier, my favorite animation is pop. I love it, the way it just comes on.
I don't know if you saw Katrina and I, we were talking about like there should be a series called Guess the Animation.
That would be good. I do like that. I was on another Adobe live stream about a year ago, and the game we did was, I guess it was like Pictionary using the stock
love that.
photo library in Adobe Express. So we were screen sharing and me and the person I was playing with, we couldn't see each other's search bar. And I was given like a movie that I had to choose stock images and put on the project, and they had to guess. It was so fun. And yes, the arrow is pointing directly to my chin. It's saying, this is who you should listen to for this part. The guy at the bottom is just the sounding board.
He's listening.
In this case. And if I do have some clips where VJ was speaking, I would put him on top and switch him up
Okay,
there.
nice. So you never really like stick to one format or another. You guys flip-flop based on who's speaking.
Yeah, and that's actually what I love about the TikTok Symphony Assistant is, again, I get into the ad and business strategy in a lot of this, which it's a very daunting process for a lot of content creators, but I like to A/B test almost all the content we put out.
Okay.
So I might take this video and try it with B-roll footage to start, as opposed to me. Same audio, right? Or I might just try music, but I might, or put like tone down the music and have music in the background while I'm speaking. But I might try it with B-roll first. I might try it with no on-screen text like you're seeing here. I might post 3 of them and then see slight variations in the footage, which one does better, even just a little bit better in views. And I'll use that to decide the rest of our strategy moving forward.
I love that so much. And do you find like there's a lot of similarities that you've seen in your A/B testing? If you had to give like 3 tips on how to create like scroll stopping TikTok content, what would be your 3 tips?
So music is such a fast way for your audience to register and recognize something familiar. So that's why using the popular music, like we can find with the Symphony Assistant, using popular and relevant music is huge. Having motion in the first beginning of the scene. I was once told this, and it makes so much sense. So many of us consume content when we're stationary. We're either laying on our couch, I know I do that a lot, or we are on, commuting on a subway or commuting on a train, anything like that. We're not moving. So if the video can provide the motion, that is such a good hook to bring into someone. And also, like I said, I like to combine captions on screen, but also a title card to really just tell my audience what the video is about.
This
Have
is
you heard
so
of this?
good.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And I was going to say they're juicy tips, and I hope that everyone wrote them down in their notebooks.
I'm a former teacher here. Like I said, I like taking notes. I'm just going to mute it actually, just because the audience on stream is probably sick of me playing this over and over again, which content creator problem, having to listen to the same thing from yourself talking. But here we got the intro.
Have you heard of this 411 strategy for posting on social media?
There we go. I guess I didn't mute it. I muted the film burn. That's what I did. But it's nice to have that popping up. It's right there. And then right away, it gets into myself speaking and changing the scene, which is really good.
I love this. And this is coming together so beautifully, Lucas. You're doing such a great job.
So what I'm going to do now is there are so many other things I could do. I'm going to download this one and we'll put some captions on while I work with something else in the meantime.
Love that.
And I'll show some other varieties of video you might try, like I said, for that A/B testing. So I'll go ahead and download it.
And while Lucas is downloading this, we're going to go ahead and roll the clip of the new TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on in Adobe Express so you can see what we're talking about and what all the hype is about.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh, let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call this new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from his wallet.
Yeah, so it's pretty much done. I'm just going to save it to my desktop right here. And then we'll be pretty much good to go. Oh, there we go. And to add in some captions, which is a lot of fun. So the best thing about finding those captions is Adobe Express has all these quick actions. And if you've been an Adobe Express user but haven't investigated these quick actions, I can almost guarantee there will be something you've never used on here. And I love how they really highlight it. So we got convert to GIF. Do you say GIF or GIF?
I say Jeff.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Am I wrong? Am I the drama?
I don't know what's right or wrong. Data or data? I don't know.
Now I'm questioning how I speak. I don't even know.
In the chat, what do you say, GIF or GIF?
Data?
But there are so many different options here. The one I'm going to be looking for, let's go to the main menu, is caption video.
I love this feature so
Me
much,
too.
by
It's
the
so
way.
good.
Such a game changer.
And we're going to go ahead and what did I save it as? I forget. I'm really disorganized with that. Let's look at the save time. Whatever one I saved at 11:32, that's the one. And that's going to pop in there. Again, while that's running, I'm going to show another video clip that I can work with. So initially, like we said, I try to get the most content out of what I can use. So instead of, just one clip to promote my podcast episode, well, now we have 9. And that's a whole, based on how many times you post, that could be a week, that could be 2 weeks, that could be 3 weeks of TikTok content, which is amazing. Let me just tone down the volume a little bit for our listeners, but I'll play this other clip and then I'll quickly go through. I won't talk through what I'm doing as much because we've seen me do it, but I'm going to snip it into my building blocks and work with it from there.
All right, I can do these all day. I got more.
Let's go.
I
I want to
it.
hear more.
Okay, there's this thing called the 50-30-20 rule. Have you heard of that one?
No. Where do you find all of this?
Okay, this is a simple
My
breakdown
question.
for any social media strategy. It's assuming that out of all the content you share, 50% of your content should be focused on engaging your audience. So getting them to share, getting them to comment, getting them to interact and be interested in what you're posting. 30% should be educational or informational. So things that build trust, things that get people to become a customer or hit that follow button. And then 20%, 50, 30, 20, the last 20% is about promoting your business.
I think the 20% is something that everyone usually skips out on.
So this one felt a little long to me. I don't know about you, but time is everything in social media, especially TikTok. This one felt a little long. So while I'm quickly going through and snipping it and clipping it and trimming it, sounds like I need a haircut. While I'm going through and doing that, I'm gonna use this building block system, which is gonna make it very easy for me to reorganize, to change the hook. You'll notice at the beginning of this one, I don't start with the concept.
Right.
I say, hey, I got another one. I can tell you these all day.
Right.
When it comes to that A/B testing, I might try, the first video I might post would start with this kind of little witty banter between VJ and I.
Right.
B, A/B testing, the other one I might post might be just me cutting right to the, hey, have you heard of the 50, 30, 20 rule for content creation? And I would use that to test and see from my audience, all right, do they get more hooked and engaged when I start with the question? That's my theory. That's what I believe. Or does it maybe nurture more engagement when I start with just him and I showing our personality and our interaction? So many things. This is why I'm obsessed with social media and content.
I love this so much. And for anybody that's just tuning in, Lucas is creating short form video content from long form video content that was on his podcast. And for those of you who have been here a little bit now, the question is going to be, what is Lucas going to do when he cuts or splits these clips? What's going to go over top of them? Let's see who's been paying attention.
So I'm going to clip really quick, just section by section.
All right, I can do these all day. I got more.
Let's go, let's go.
All right, clip that, split.
I
I
like
want to
it.
hear more.
Okay, there's this thing called the 50.
Actually, let me go back and clip it a little bit later.
I
I
like
want to
it.
hear more.
There we go. Split there.
Okay, there's this thing called the 50, 30, 20 rule. Have you heard of that one?
No. Where do you find all of this?
Okay, this is a
I want to keep that part of him saying that.
It's so great. But like also, I feel like we're all thinking that, like, where do you get all these tips from, Lucas?
Google, trying them out myself a few different ways.
Try
Where do you
and
find
try
all
and
of this?
test it.
Okay, this is a
So let's go ahead.
Find all of this.
Okay, this is a simple breakdown for any social media strategy. It's assuming that out of all the content you share, 50%
So maybe I want to put some B-roll when I say 50%.
of the content you share,
So that's where I'm about to say 50. Split.
50% of your content should be focused on engaging your audience. So getting them to share, getting them to comment, getting them to interact and be interested in what you're posting.
Let's go right before our 30.
30% should be educational or informational. So things that build trust, things that get people to become a customer or hit that follow button.
And last.
And then 20%, 50, 30, 20, the last 20% is about promoting your business.
I think the 20% is something that everyone
And maybe I want to, so I'm just going to put another clip right there before he speaks because, again, time is everything. Maybe in the future I might think adding that 2 seconds of his commentary, maybe that's replacing what the audience is thinking. So maybe I
Right.
don't want that in there. So we're just going to put a clip there.
Your business.
I think the
There we go. Let's go back.
Promoting your business.
And I like for social media content, it's so easy to just be able to make these quick cuts.
Right.
Even when I edited this in Premiere Pro, I was pretty tight to my sentence ending. So I might even in the future not make it so I'm like going from one sentence to the next. I might not make it as jumpy, but
Right.
this is easy to work with. So now let's just show some options.
All right, I can do these all day. I got more.
let's go, let's go.
So like I said, maybe I don't want that hook, right? Maybe I
Okay.
want to just get rid of that one and it's gone. So it just starts with.
Okay, there's this thing called the 50, 30, 20 rule. Have you heard of that one?
No.
So that's I think what I'm going to start with. I
think
do
that's
like
a
the
good call.
fun, yeah. But again, if I wanted to, what I could do, let me go back before I deleted it. I could also just duplicate the page. This is what I should have shared earlier. I love to just duplicate the two projects. And now, again, Katrina showed me an important thing. Name your pages. I need to start doing that more. So this one might be straight to the point. I don't need all caps. Straight to the point. Because that one I'm going to just start with. Have you heard of this? This one might be, I don't know, witty banter. And now I can work with the two and modify them as I need to. So here
Now,
we go.
question would be,
Yeah.
if you are doing this and you're duplicating the pages essentially, right? So would you do that normally after you've kind of edited it so that it's all edited and ready to go?
That is another great point. Yes.
Okay.
So, well, there's a few options. This is what I love about Adobe Express.
Right.
Everyone has their own workflow, right? There's all these different. So you could. That is probably the most efficient way. Is if things like me having on-screen text and title cards.
Right.
If I know that's not going to change from video to video, I might just do all that and then duplicate.
Right.
But I could also just copy like an on-screen element and then
Right.
paste it from document to document. So a lot of options, but I'm glad you highlighted that.
And knowing that you have both options, I think, is really important, because I've been there, done that when I was first using Adobe Express and thought to myself, like, oh, I wish I kept that. And it's like, how do I
Right.
get it in there now?
Oh, huge tip right here. Again, if you're taking notes, something I love to do as a default is before I work with a project, I will duplicate just so I have the
Yes.
original stuck. And especially if I work with like a template, I know I have some templates here. Because I don't want to forget what the template looked like, I obviously chose the template for a reason.
Right.
And as I work with it, I do think you should make templates your own and add your own, obviously, brand voice, brand colors, brand imagery.
Right.
But sometimes I'm like, what did I like about the template when I first started? I've gone so far from it. So I always like to keep page one of a project usually untouched. What did I start with?
I'm the same way, or like you have OCD and anxiety like me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I change the template, I'm never gonna find this
Yeah.
again. Like, then what?
What was the search keyword?
It's so true.
This is the one where I'm gonna delete.
All right, I can do these all day.
So I'm gonna delete that. And let's see, it goes right to the question.
Okay, there's this thing called the 50-30-20 rule. Have you heard of that one?
No. Where do you find all of this?
Okay, this is a simple breakdown for any social media strategy. It's
And then again, through this one, I could go through, I would add in our B-roll footage, add in some other elements. I can even do things like head over to the brand, which I know I mentioned I didn't add in the brand palette just yet, but we do have the Creator Juice brand here. And even things like adding in the logo and having that quickly able to put on screen. Let me do like, we should probably have that at the end as a call to action.
The 20% is something that everyone usually skips out on.
So maybe during that part, I want to have our logo on screen. And let me remove the background from that one. There we go. And maybe that's when, as you're listening, there we go. You can see it's showing me where it's only on this scene, which is great. Maybe that's where I want to have this pop up with a listen now prompt to go on screen.
I love that idea.
Always testing. I'm always testing. We will probably post 3 pieces of content, some where I don't even show this at all. I don't even show the logo because I like the human aspect of just us on screen. Somewhere we'll go fully into, here's a video clip of VJ and I on screen, like the one I started with. So there's a few. Let's see. Let's go with spin. I like that one.
I was
for a
like,
circle.
is he going to use pop again? Let's see. Now we're doing a spin.
Now we're doing
I
a
love the spin.
The great thing with all of these is you can change how slowly it's spinning. You can change the intensity.
That looks so good how it just like swirls in.
Yeah.
Spins in, I should
And
say.
I love for the duration, it tells me how long it's going to be on because, again, I know that down here, this is a 3.4 second clip, little small segment. So I want to be able to make sure that the thing's not spinning for most of the video, right? That's going to be problematic.
Right.
So let's make it about a second. There we go. And maybe we want to do some other things like a listen now with some text. I actually like that one I used last time. I might save this font to our brand because that is a great font.
It complements everything really, really well. And just a heads up, we have about 12 minutes. I know that we're going to be adding some fun captions on screen to the other video
Yes.
that we're working on as well, right? And Keys had a really good point in the chat. He says a lot of people watch their videos on mute, and just people with moving mouse is not very entertaining. So visuals really help add that element.
That's a very
nowadays.
good point. Yeah.
Such a good point, Keys.
Let's go ahead and add the outline. Again, trying different options for all these different shapes. I love to see what they have. Let's go ahead and make it look like a big play button for a video game.
It's like really feeding into that like 90s video game kind of
that
feel,
is-
and I love it.
That is us. And now I could probably look up some video game commercial music, library music on
Yes.
TikTok that I can incorporate.
And for anybody wondering what Lucas is talking about, or if you're just jumping in, we are celebrating the launch of an exciting new feature, the TikTok Symphony Assistant add-on in Adobe Express. We're going to roll a clip to show you what it's all about and what you can look forward to with this new add-on.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh, let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call this new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, caught a couple balls from his wallet.
All right, so we got the captions for the video here. Again, very important to be able to have captions for accessibility and audience attention. I love in Adobe Express how you can see all the different options that are available. You can even go in and edit them and modify them in Adobe Express, but I love being able to kind of like see and think beforehand. Okay, this one looks kind of fun for like a video game setting. It's lower on the screen. Maybe I can go ahead and have a more modern, blocky style. I can change the color. Let's go with our nice vibrant. Do you ever memorize color codes?
Yes.
You do? See, I need to
Yes.
do that.
Or I save them as shortcuts in my keyboard,
Oh.
and I'm like hot pink, and then it'll like pop up. We have a question in the chat from Nate saying, "What were you teaching before, Lucas?"
Oh, I used to teach math largely. So grade 8 math was what I taught just outside of Toronto. But I would incorporate creative projects as much as I could into the workflow and
I
lessons.
was gonna say this is like totally different
Yes.
than math.
Which I've used Adobe Express to teach math, which I think is very impressive.
I love that.
And it's engaging for the kids too. So let's see how those captions turned out.
Easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume you're posting 6 posts a week, taking a day off. 4 of those 6 posts should be educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience. 1 of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And 1 of them, 411, is a hard sell. So directly.
I know the pause and play button is kind of blocking, but something very impressive that I didn't know would happen is happening here. Did you notice how when it's me, like that is,
Yes.
I did not know it would do that.
Like the text is moving, right? Because I was like, am I bugging? Or is that like moving at the perfect like
is.
place in the clip?
Because when it's VJ and I speaking, I don't want it this low and blocking
Right.
his face.
Right.
He's got
I'm
a beautiful
mind
face. He's got to show it. Yeah. So I want it to be right in the middle at the split. And then when it does go to the B-roll, that is dropping. And you know, we use TikTok, we use Instagram Reels a lot. That is like that perfect point to put your on-screen text where it's not going to be too low that it gets
Right.
cut off, because you don't want that either. There's always that magic safety zone, I say, where
Right.
it's not too low. I can use my mouse. Anything below here is probably getting cut off based on how your audience is viewing the video. Anything above
Right.
here, probably getting cut off too. So I always go for this spot right in here to really make sure. If you ever want a quick tip to make sure it's not going to get cut off, I don't know if you've done this before, but I will just go onto TikTok, watch a video with my phone, screenshot the view of that video. So I can screenshot it in TikTok to see where all the icons and the caption ends up.
Right.
And then I'll upload it into Adobe Express, put it as just like an overlay on top of my video, drop the opacity, drop it to like 20%. So it's just like an onion skin on top. And then I
Right.
can make sure my elements are not going to get cut off.
I actually have never done that, and that's such a great tip. Like, that is so good. I think that that's going to be my takeaway from today. And I'll Instagram you, showing you when I'm doing it. I'll DM you.
Oh, and Penny points out too, TikTok has your description caption that eats up the bottom too. Yes, it does.
Yes.
It does. It really does. So this is all the captions I have here. I love how I can, as I'm watching, and I'll play it one more time, even though we're probably sick of hearing this video. Up here in the top right, it's going to put the text that's on screen, and it changes as the video plays. So I could just modify it directly. Although I have to give shout out to Adobe Express and the captions tool for pretty flawlessly, when I use it, capturing what I'm saying. I rarely
Right.
ever have to change or go in and manually type things. Maybe if there's like an air conditioner really loud behind me, it might miss a certain word, but I almost never have to do that. So we'll see it change as I go through.
Educational or entertaining, whatever really works for your audience. One of the 6 should be a soft sell for your business. So that means like you're subtly pushing your products or services or business. And one of them, 411, is a hard sell. So directly pushing your products and services. Have you heard of this 411 strategy for posting on social media? So this one's the easiest way to plan your content. Let's assume.
And you'll notice just in this view, obviously I probably don't want the text to be in place of that. So if I were to go into the editor, I don't know if we have time right now, but if I were to go into the editor, I could just drag them down to the bottom, and that's going to be out of the way for that scene. Similar to how when we look at the B-roll, it's also out of the way like we discussed, which is awesome.
And something too, I don't even know, you've probably done this before, but if you open it there in editor, you can actually change where everything's sitting. Have you done
Yes,
that? That's
yes,
really,
I
you guys
love
will have
doing
to
that.
play around with it another time so Lucas can wrap up what he's working on. But it is so cool. I feel like the opportunities of what you can do with your content in
Yes.
Adobe Express is like endless, which is something I love.
Play around with it. Challenge yourself to find something new to use in your content every day, and you'll have fun for life.
That's such a great tip. That needs to be a t-shirt.
So what I'm doing just to show how this works directly in browser is because you'll notice it said for one of them, 411, it picked up as me saying the word 4, 1, and 1 spelled out. I want to just make it the numbers. So I'm just changing it directly in this text box up here in the right. And there it is right on screen. As I'm doing it in real time, it changed, which is awesome. I'll click that so it's not, the play button isn't in the way of my hard work. But you can see it right there, which is so easy to go in and manually do that. If I wanted to like delete periods or put in commas and punctuation, again, I'm a math teacher. I don't focus on that stuff too much, but there are so many cool options, which is great.
I love this so much. I feel like we've all learned so many incredible, amazing things today, Lucas. This has been so great.
I know we only have a bit of time, but like, so I won't start any new projects, but some things I would do, and I would love to hear what you think on this too. There are so many different ways to show up on social media and with different content. So I might take a small clip of this, maybe a 5-second hook where it's just me saying the 411,
Right.
or the part where VJ is saying, I never knew about that, or where do you find all these things? Let's see where that one is.
For any social media strategy, it's assuming getting them to comment, getting them to interact and be interested in what you're posting. 30% should be.
Wait, where does he say? Where do you find
Did
these?
you look at the other slide? Remember you created
I
another
did,
page?
yeah. That might have been.
Things that get people to become a customer or hit that
I know it
follow
was
button.
at the
And
beginning.
then 20%.
It was, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it might be on the other page. Because remember you
The
duplicated.
witty banter page.
Yes.
All right, I can do these all day.
There
I
we
got
go.
more.
Let's go. Let's go.
So maybe I want to do a story that is just that, right?
Okay.
Again, let me duplicate because I don't want to lose this. I'm probably going to use it. Right, there we go. Maybe I'm going to delete. And now I'm just going to use a story that is here. I can add in some on-screen elements. I might go ahead and go into templates, type in or search based on Instagram story and find some very cool ones. Sometimes what I like to do is, because there's so many awesome on-screen elements like this built into the Adobe Express story templates. But again, maybe I'm not talking about a pretzel shop here, right? Doesn't
Right.
mean you can't use it. And that's my biggest takeaway too, is maybe on this story, what I like is just the like sticky note style post-it templates here.
Right.
Or this one's very cool. There we go, it shows it more. Maybe I want to just change that search bar into what is the 50-30-20 rule for content creation.
Right.
And then I have this awesome text. I'm going to delete, while it is beautiful, I'm going to delete this nice landscape here. And that's
Right.
just popping up over VJ and I talking on our podcast. Have fun with templates is my also key takeaway that I want people to try. That's your homework if you're listening, because there are so many fun things that are already done for you that while this is a landscape and beautiful nature, it can work for your content, whatever you're talking about.
These are such great tips. And I feel like from that, I'm taking away, like, look at the design, not the content.
Oh, I love
right?
that. That's a shirt. That's a t-shirt
That's a
slogan
t-shirt.
right there.
This has been so incredible, Lucas. Thank you so much. And make sure you all stick around because we have more live streams going on.
So I was thinking we could come up with some fun
Perfect.
branding
I was like, I didn't know
for
that.
this like fake music festival. I went ahead and kind of came up with this really
Cute.
rough pencil sketch.
Okay.
The first thing I want to do is get this rounded text. And I'm going to use good old text and a path tool, coastline. So I'm just gonna line these points to make sure I can get everything centered. To kind of create the 3D look, I'm gonna create outlines for this, and then I'm going to go to the Pathfinder tool and merge all this. Now I'm gonna go to Object Path, Offset Path. Ooh, yeah, there you go. Let's do
You got time.
0.15. I'm gonna merge this too and just change the color. I'm gonna go ahead and add that outline stroke. I'm gonna change this to white, and then I'm going to Option click and drag and move this to the bottom. Okay, so now I'm gonna go use the blend tool. Click on the top one, option, and then click the bottom one. So I'm gonna do specified steps. So let's just try 8. There we go. I think especially for things like this where you just want like quickly to get an even border around something, just turn on your grid. It's command and then the apostrophe, and then snap to grid is super easy too. So I'm gonna just switch that to an outline. So I'm gonna do offset path this time for my son. Let's group this and center it. Can I just jump to the final product? Okay, so this is what I came up with for the finished product. I was thinking like some VIP passes would be cute. And then I just wanted to show you another fun little like cute asset that I made.
Cute, the
some little
wristbands.
Yeah. So what I did to bring this into Express is I created a library. You go to this plus button and then it'll show you like all the different options. And then I just can add some of my graphic elements too. So I added my sunshine, my palm tree. Let's go into Express. Ta-da! Okay, so now you can see that like all of our assets, our fonts, our colors are automatically
Waiting for us.
So what I did here is I just brought this in to a PNG and lock it. So I just went and added new text, first name, last name.
A proper template.
We're gonna go to share to save as a remixable text. Hello and welcome back.
Welcome back. My name is Ellie, and I am here with Emma today.
Hi, good to see you all. Some familiar faces in the chat.
Please hop into the chat. Let us know where you guys are watching from, and let us know all of your favorite Express features. We are so excited to be streaming on Express today.
Yes, and continue on the awesome TikTok trends that we've been working on and seeing all day today.
Yes, if you are just joining, there is a new update in Express. There is an add-on called the TikTok Symphony Assistant, and that is going to be a super useful tool.
Totally.
So you can actually get some tips and tricks directly from TikTok, trending hashtags. You can write scripts with it. So many different things.
Lots of different ideas.
Lots of different ideas and options.
I couldn't think of too, like off the top of my head. So it's nice to have that kind of stuff already in Express for us.
Absolutely. I feel like writing scripts, coming up with ideas, that's one of the hardest things when you're sitting down to make a video. So really excited about that. You're also going to be able to use licensed music from TikTok in Express, which is so exciting.
Yes, we love that.
We love that. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Emma's going to be creating some really fun videos surrounding a music festival promotion. Woo-hoo! I'm so excited to see. So we can really quick show a little video that demonstrates the TikTok Symphony Assistant, if that is ready to go. Just so you can get a look at that, and then we can hop right into Express and start creating.
He's never seen this side of my world, 'cause I've lost all control. I wanna drive him crazy like he did me, 'cause he did me wrong. All this behavior I'm projecting, it was really all his fault. Girl, I can show you what to do, the thought of you won't leave him alone. Ooh. Let me tell you now, gaslight, gatekeep, call this new bitch mainstream, toxic, hypnotic, grab a couple balls from...
Thank you, Jacob, for that.
How easy is that?
So fun.
Too?
Yes.
I'm excited for us to get to create some TikToks of our own now.
Let's do it.
You ready? All right, let's jump into
so
Express. And I don't know if you all were with us a couple of Thursdays ago when I was streaming, but I designed some really cute branding for a little music festival called Coastline. I'll pull up some of those assets just to jog your memory if you weren't with us.
Cute.
Yeah, it was super summery and fun. And honestly, at the end of the stream, I was kind of thinking of ways that we could, I don't know, just create some more promotional content within Adobe Express. And I thought, what better way than to do it now with you, Ellie?
Yes,
so we can go back to
wait.
Express. Yeah. And I already had this library built out from last stream. If you remember, we added our colors, our fonts, some really cute design assets. So these will kind of all be the foundation for building our first TikTok using Adobe Express. And this is nice because I don't have to think about like any of the other brand elements. I can just bring them all here. These are also accessible in Illustrator. So that's where I made those posters. They're accessible in Photoshop. So love that I can get all my cute little brand goodies into Express and everywhere on Creative Cloud.
Makes the design process so quick.
So fast.
Yes.
Totally. Okay.
Just grab whatever you need.
Yes.
Joshua was asking if Adobe add-ons are new or have I been sleeping on this. So Adobe add-ons have been around for a while. You can, at the very bottom of that little sidebar in your Adobe Express, that's where you can click and find all the different add-ons.
Yes.
So if you want to install the TikTok Symphony Assistant, that's where you would find it.
Yep,
right
that's
there.
where you would go, right there. So let's go into the social and just start a TikTok video. We can browse templates.
So many great templates.
So many great templates. And if we have time at the end, I'll show you some of my favorites.
Oh, I would love to see.
Yeah, I love just honestly scrolling through these just to get inspiration because sometimes I get a little bit stuck, which is great that this TikTok assistant now exists too. So you can just focus on designing and making things look pretty without having to kind of like scratch your brain and think about like what content would look good.
Yes.
Also, I struggle sometimes with animation, and so this gives you some really great like easy little animation ideas and transition ideas within these templates. But I'm just gonna start, I think, by going into my stuff and going into my libraries and pulling in some of those things that I had shown you earlier. So Coastline was the name of our festival.
Look at that. So easy to
Isn't
access.
that cute?
It's amazing.
Yes, I love this background specifically.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
I am just going to bring in this gradient, and this will be the background for our entire video. And I was kind of thinking, since it's a music festival, like I want to call out some of the great songs that people are going to get to hear at the festival. And I think that's kind of perfect too for the Symphony Assistant, because then we have commercial access to those TikTok audios that are like trending, that everyone wants to use. So it makes that process super easy. So I just dragged in this gradient that I had saved from my library, so I don't even have to try to like recreate anything. I'm going to go ahead and lock it so that I don't mess it up at any other point. So let's start with adding some text. I think I want to call this like songs for the summer. And so the way I thought about this was, what would engage me as someone who's scrolling through TikTok? If it's just an ad right away, I tend to just skip.
Don't even look at it.
Exactly. So something that's going to kind of drive some natural engagement while still kind of being on brand. So I think by talking about songs of the summer, that's a perfect segue
People will be
to...
like, wait, I want to know what the songs of the summer
Exactly.
are.
Like what should be on your playlist for this summer.
I want to know.
And then we can lead into and BTW, buy tickets to my fake festival that I still want to go to.
That I wish was real.
Yeah.
Looking at how cute it is, I would like to go.
I know. I at least could like create some fake merch for it.
Oh my gosh. Please do. Send me some if you do.
Okay. Now my computer is like freezing on me. That's great. So while this is loading, we're going to think about some great fonts we can use. I love how Express has some nice recommendations. Let's see here. Maybe we can... yes, thank you for the great color palette.
Quickly, we could hop over to my
Yes, well, my computer is buffering. So sorry about that.
I can show you guys. So when you install the Symphony Assistant, then when you are going into a video, it's going to pop up here. So when I click over here onto add-ons, I can click this, and it's going to show up on this side of my screen, and I can click all these different things. So I can get TikTok insights, I can brainstorm ideas, which truly is like a lifesaver.
Just to get the juices flowing too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then also find trending TikTok music. So many options here. Definitely install that and play around with it. Because of copyright issues, we cannot actually show this in action.
But you can try it yourself, which is the great
video
thing.
that we showed. But definitely play around with it and let us know what you guys think.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for showing that, Ellie.
Of course.
Now my text is loading again. So Jacob, we can switch back over. Thank you. I'm like, I've barely done anything, and it's like the spinning wheel of
Express is like,
death.
I've worked hard today.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
My computer is tired. So what we're going to do here is going to change the font, and you can see the fonts I have saved to my library. So I love
the Beverly. Okay, we just rebranded and used that font.
No way, really?
Yes.
It's so cute.
It's by Jen and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his sister's name. Chutzpah.
Yes.
It's from Chutzpah, and they are
and
the
Adobe
dream
fonts.
team. They are wonderful. So
yeah, it is really cute, and I used it for some of the templates I created in Express.
Yeah.
For like some names and stuff. It's a little bit tricky since it's like a display script font. And I think for at least what I've seen on TikTok, what I'm gravitated towards is really like bold, easy to read text.
Yeah.
Nothing like over the top with decoration. But I really loved it. I made it for like some little name tags, some little VIP passes.
Cute.
So
yes.
If you want to go back and look at that, that was I think 2 Thursdays ago. So be sure to check out some of our past streams. It's really, there's some cute, fun stuff.
Yes, all of the past streams are available for you to watch whenever you want. Just have them on in the background, and you can learn so many great things. So definitely check out the backlog of awesome content from Adobe Live.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to have it on just like almost like a podcast when I'm working, just to get the creative juices flowing. I've also learned.
You learn so much.
Yeah,
from
just different
workflow.
Yeah, different ways of working that it accomplishes the same goal a lot of times. But I just like love to hear how other people find solutions to the problems that I'm facing.
Absolutely.
So super fun. So this is our headline here, Songs for the Summer.
Cute.
It's pretty bold. I think something I want to make sure we consider is how big the type is. And also if you think about too, like if you are posting this to Reels too, in addition to TikTok, sometimes like the top gets covered up.
You have to make sure you leave the space.
Yeah, so I don't want to have anything like super precious. So just like some invisible margins for myself to think about. So now I think I want to add some song titles and we can just create our own because why not?
Yes, if you guys have ideas for fun song titles, maybe a song that you wish was a song.
And we can put your name.
A summary. Yes, please drop it in the chat with your name and we'll add it to the design. Jack says, great color palette.
Thanks,
agree.
Jack. I'm always a pink girl. Like that's always what I gravitate towards.
Yes.
So what I just did here is I went into the elements panel and grabbed just a rectangle. And I think we're going to do like 5 songs. I think top 5 is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That's a great start.
Let's see. And I love that this just like makes it so easy to space out for me. Let's make these a little smaller because again, like I said, I don't want any of this to get cut off too much.
Yeah, Darlene says music gets attention, which is true.
Music
is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And I really love that I can just grab like viral TikTok music.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so I have spots for 5 songs, which I think is pretty good. I'll bump this up a little bit. And I'll add one more decorative element before we finish adding the text. I want to go back to your stuff and my libraries, and I have these like cute little waves.
So fun.
And I think that would be perfect to animate. That was something last stream that I was like, oh, I wish I had time to like add some motion to the waves. So I think that'll be really cute. So I'm just going to duplicate that. Option, click, drag, same workflow as Illustrator. And I'm going to add that
the shortcuts
behind. Yeah,
Wonderful.
That's something like hotkeys that I still want to get better at.
Me
it
too.
Saves you time.
But once you start using them, then you can't stop. But then sometimes I can't
remember.
It's just muscle memory. So when I try to say it out loud, I'm like, what is
so
the
true.
actual? I have to do it to remember.
So true. Do we have any song suggestions yet? Or are we just trying this?
No songs. Who's going to be our first song suggester?
I don't know. But while you all are coming up with some song suggestions, I'm going to number these. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I just kind of want this to be punchy and bold. Yes. So if someone doesn't watch our entire video, at least, like, you know, they're getting something out of it. Yes. The first one. I really love this font. This is from Oh No Type Co., which is another
great
great type foundry. All of this is available on Adobe Fonts. I think some of these are kind of like my holy grail.
Yeah.
Typefaces, if I'm being honest with you, and they all just like are really talented designers. They also have really great social content, which is fun to look at.
Oh yeah.
James from Ono Type Co. is very funny, and I love watching his content.
Oh, I missed that. Clever suggested Freebird.
Freebird. I feel like that's an actual song.
I feel like it might be, but we
can do it anyways. Yeah.
Yes.
So now I just got to do, you know, all the little nitpicky type centering. Want to make sure this looks good.
How great is that align feature? That it's just built right in there.
It is so nice because sometimes in Illustrator, what I do is like I like draw rectangles to try to measure things.
Yes.
This just makes everything super nice and it snaps really easily.
Yes.
I think I want to use a different variation of Obviously, which is the font we're doing. I think I want to use condensed because we have to include a song title and an artist name.
Yeah, it's a lot of content.
It kind of is. So let's do condensed, and then I'm going to just stretch this out. Okay, what was it? Freebird.
And then let's use Clever's name.
Freebird. Oh, Freebird. And I'll do dash clever.
And then DEV capital LYN.
All right. Perfect. And I think I want to bold the song title because why not? Just to have some separation between the two. And so once we have all this content in, then I think we can start animating and then work on some transitions to our other scenes because I want this. I was thinking of it in like 3 or 4 parts where we have like a mix of type, graphics, and images. I also really love the stock images and videos that we can pull in.
There's so much there.
Yeah, so then I don't have to necessarily have my own content for this. Okay, Freebird is number 1 song of the summer. I think we can do Going Live.
Love that.
As our second song. We'll do Jacob's name. Jacob is running the show for us over on the side.
Thank you, Jacob.
Shout out, Jacob. I can't remember your last name, Jacob.
There you are.
There's Jacob.
What's your last name, Jacob?
Phillips.
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 Yes, that's right.
Did I spell that right? I think so.
Going Live.
Okay, next we can do
something with symphony since we're Summer Symphony.
Summer Symphony. I like that.
Since we're promoting that. Is it going to be too long?
We can do a catchy, like, my initials are EFG. So, like, ooh,
Love
that's
that.
like a cool artist name.
Love that.
EFG.
So cute.
What do you want your song to be, Ellie?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I'm really bad at coming up with
Chilling
names
on the
of things.
Weekend because Ellie is from
Let's do
Weekend
that.
Creative.
Yes.
Look
I
at
am from
us.
Weekend Creative.
On the Weekend.
And you can just do my name in all caps and that'll fit.
Sure.
Keys says The Gate by Keys.
The Gate by Keys.
Yes.
All right. Last but not least. Okay.
The Weekend.
Yeah, The Weekend. Not to be confused with that artist. Spells it a little different. Perfect.
KYS.
And if any of you have some musical ability and want to create these songs,
Go for
we are
it.
all ears.
Would
And
love to hear.
I'm going to align this to the left. I think that looks nice when you have all this type with different like ending points.
Yes.
Just so that doesn't look crazy. Okay, now I'm going to make sure this is all centered. Look at all those guides coming up.
The guides.
Makes it look
Love
nice.
the guides.
Okay, cute. I love this. So what I'm going to do is I have in mind grouping all of these sections and having them animate in one by one.
Keys says I was joking. Well,
Keys, we're not joking around. We're on Adobe
No
Live,
jokes
and
here.
we like your suggestion. All right, so I'm just selecting these and holding Shift, and then Command G is the shortcut for that. And I don't know if I'm gonna leave the songs for the summer on screen. So now we can go to animation, and I want to do an in animation. I was thinking slide.
yeah.
Having these all
yeah.
slide in.
Cute. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's some funky ones we can do. And I'm going to click on show layer timing. And this is the easy way to edit your timeline. So if I want to adjust when things come in, timeline is your best friend. And I really appreciate that Express makes it so easy, because if you ever open After Effects, that's like a really robust animation program. Super, super great. But for someone like me who just wants to focus on the visuals,
Quick and easy.
Yeah, just a way to add some small animation, especially for social.
Yes.
I think this is a great option.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see this animates on, and then we leave this towards the end. Keep it all the way to the end of that clip because we want it to stay on screen. And then Going Live by Jacob. Let's see, we'll drag what is this called?
Cursor? Is it a cursor?
Maybe, sure.
I don't know. It's probably not the actual name.
I
for
feel
it.
like I learned the name for it at one
don't know.
point. But I'm going to drag that so it's about a half of a second in, so you can see that tiny little number. It says 0.5s. We're going to just click and drag it there so then it animates in at a different time. So let's test these first two just to see if we like the timing. So I'm going to deselect, drag it to the beginning. Whoa. Oh, it's because I forgot to add an animation.
Oh, it's just popping in.
Yep. Okay, so we want to repeat that for all of these. What did I click? Slide?
Slide, I think? Yeah.
Cha-cha slide.
There you go.
Okay, I like that
Cute.
timing. I think that's good. It's not
You
waiting
want it
too
to be
long.
quick.
Totally.
You know?
Because people like us, our attention span is short,
no
especially
attention spans anymore.
especially on TikTok. I'm like, if it doesn't interest me in the first 1 second, then I'm next.
It is crazy.
All right, so we have that in at 1 second. So I think the key here is just to make sure that everything is coming on like at an even interval, just so it makes the animation look a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to keep applying that slide. So we got 1, 2, and 3.
Yep. And then you can see the little dots there that show you where those specific animations are happening.
Totally. So you don't have to worry.
That makes it helpful to be able to go back and edit when you need to.
Yeah, and two, if you like click on the dot, then it will like kind of give you a quick little, like if you hover on it, you can see a small little preview of what it is, which is really nice. Okay, so for 4, let's see. I want this to be at 1.5 seconds. So we'll just drag this here.
Perfect.
And then for the 5th one, we'll do it at 2 seconds. So these all have a half of a second.
Great math.
Thanks. I just try to keep it easy for myself. I'm a designer, not a mathematician. No one's ever mistaken me for a math girly. That's for sure.
Same, though. Same.
All right. Let's see how this looks. And then I think we can move on to animating the waves.
I'm excited about the waves, honestly.
All right.
Cute.
Sweet.
That looks so good.
Very clean. And I think, too, this first clip, I know we said we're going to add some other scenes after it.
Yeah.
I want to leave this on screen for a little bit just so someone can, like, read it all the way through since it is a more content-heavy slide. Okay, so now that I have those in, I think we can just have the waves animating from the get-go.
Yeah.
I don't really think we need to wait. So we can have that as a looping transition or a looping animation, excuse me. So I clicked on my first wave and I'm going to go to looping, which means it's going to play for the entire duration of this versus an in or an out animation.
Yeah. Cute.
And I think the one I was liking was Bob. It kind of already has
like that makes sense. Yeah.
But I want to make sure it doesn't look crazy on the bottom. So I'm going to make this a little bit subtler since if I leave it as is, then you're going to see like the bottom of that graphic, which is a little bit ugly. And I don't want to see the yellow behind it.
Right.
So when I was testing this beforehand, I think a 1 and a 1 is probably pretty good. It's subtle. I sometimes think a little bit of a subtle animation looks more refined. It's not as in your face.
Can you make it taller or like
stretch it out a little bit longer? I definitely could. So what I could do, that's actually a good idea.
Because it was still showing the bottom a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So to have it off the page even more, I think is very smart, Ellie. I like that idea. Okay. So now, let's see. We have, and I think since I went and duplicated this too, the Bob animation's already applied.
Should have applied, yeah.
So let's test and see.
Let's see.
Let's go to the beginning. Aha! Cute. Good idea. I kind of feel a little seasick looking at it.
Can we alternate the two
That's
rows?
what I was wondering.
Yeah, I feel like that would look really nice.
I agree, because right now they're kind of going at the same
But
pace.
if they're like kind of two different waves, I feel like that would look really good.
What do you think the solve for that is? Do you think it's an animation?
Because it's on a loop, right? I wonder if one was, like if you did one at a 2 speed, it would then
Oh, that's
separate?
a good idea.
Maybe. Let's
Or
see.
we could drag it in
Or
and delay the animation.
yeah.
So let's try
Either
with
way.
speeding
I don't know
up.
if it'll look weird if it's at a different speed, but we could try it.
Worth a shot. It's really easy to fix. That's the good news.
So
we didn't
true.
have to
So
adjust
true.
a bunch of tiny little keyframes. We can
Oh
just
my gosh, yes.
play with the animation panel. That is your best friend.
It might not be different. Yeah, maybe delaying it is better.
Yeah, let's try that and see.
It's not enough of a difference, I think.
I think we'll delay the second one. Maybe just by like a second. Or let's try that.
Let's see.
No.
Oh, wait, because then it's just not there in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We might have to leave it.
And that's fine.
That is also totally fine. Maybe I can make this even more exaggerated with the timing. Intensity, let's do the intensity and the speed up to 3.
Okay.
And the background one, let's make sure that's all still at 1.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, I think
nice.
that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
You get some variation if you
for
look in the
sure.
corners.
For sure.
It's subtle. I don't want it to be like crazy rocking back and forth.
Yeah,
so
Joshua says it would be interesting if you could offset the phase of each animation in the setting.
I agree.
Yes, I agree. And I feel like that's something that might come down the road potentially.
Yeah, maybe that's something we could leave some feedback for our developers. I think there's a way
I think that would be awesome.
to submit feedback. So we would like some easing in and out. And also, since I do work at Adobe, I know we have some more animations coming down the pipeline for Express, which is exciting.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
I'm thinking, what if you, and we don't need to, dwell too long on this, but what if you duplicated one of the waves and that one was short? You know what I mean? And then the other, so it would still appear in the beginning.
Okay, I think I know what you're
Does that
talking
make
about.
sense?
Yes. I think
As a
I do.
workaround.
So let's move that to the back, and that will only show for like a half of a second.
Yeah, and then the other one comes in at that half
And
second.
here's where my layers panel is probably going to be super handy because these all look the same. So
Yes.
that's the short one.
Okay.
And then this is the one that will come in after that, I believe.
Not so much movement because I get dizzy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
I am someone who gets extremely motion sick. And even sometimes just like looking at something.
Yeah.
Honestly, which is good to know when you're designing,
It's good to
especially
think
for
about.
animation, like things with like strobe lights.
Oh my gosh,
or
yeah.
it can be very sensitive for some people.
Yes.
So, all right, let's try this. So if we leave
Oh, yeah.
this.
Annika says, couldn't one go in one direction and the background go in the opposite direction?
Yeah, that's what we're
I
trying
don't
to
think
figure
you can
out.
change the direction of this particular animation.
Okay, this actually looks better though.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
looks
little
good.
bit
That
more
looks good.
organic.
So that would be something that would be awesome to add is in addition to the speed and intensity, if you could change the direction.
Totally.
I know there are some, like the ones that slide in and out, I think you can change
That's
the direction.
actually what I was about to show. So that's a perfect
Yeah.
segue. So we're
Yeah.
going to add a scene because now we have kind of like the user like grabbing in the person who's going to see it. And now I kind of want to slide into the promotional part.
Yes, let's
Get
do
those
it.
ticket sales up. So all I had to do is click add new scene. And if you hover over the plus button or click the plus button, you can add a transition. So I think if we do a push, then you can change the direction. So this is where, like, for instance, I want this to go up. I don't know why. I feel like since it's a vertical format,
It's fun,
it kind of makes sense for that to go up. And then you can also change the personality and the duration. So I kind of like strong. I want it to be poppy and bold and quick. So you can see how this is looking so far. So far, so good. And then
Cute.
nice.
I love that.
Yeah, so there definitely are capabilities within Express to change the direction. I think that Bob just might be, working with what we've got for right now, which is totally fine. So what I want to do, I'm going to unlock this really quick and bring this back over. And if I wanted to, like, keep some of this, then I could have just duplicated.
The whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. But this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to lock this and head back over to my library so you can kind of see the brand again. Now, I am not going to use this as the final result, but I love this cute little, like, sunshine smiley face. Isn't that cute? So I think what would be cool is if we could kind of create this like repeating circle pattern and then animate that with some text in the center, because that's very much on brand, but then also like
I love it.
It's a good way to scale the brand and bring in some new exciting elements. So all I'm going to do is go back to those shapes. So go to elements, shapes, and bring in a circle. And let's change it. I'm going to do, I think, white for the center because then we'll do some black text.
fun.
And I'm going to make this, I think I'll make the border thickness a little bit subtler. I think that was something that I included in kind of my brand style, but I want it to be kind of thin.
Yeah.
Let's see what I used here. I want to look, okay, border thickness 3. So I can keep that.
Keep it consistent.
Totally. So let's change that. Yeah, it's at 14. That's kind of a lot right now.
That is a lot.
Okay,
Cute.
and then
I love that.
I'm just going to option click and then bring it back. So to bring it back, I do command and then the back or the left bracket.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's called, a bracket, right?
I think so.
All right, and now I don't want a border for this, or do I? Let's look at the sun. I need the sun again for reference. Maybe I should keep him in just while we copy, because I want the colors to look the same. And let's like lower the border thickness. Okay, so yellow first. And it's so nice. It already pops up
There
my
it is.
brand colors.
Oh, it's the best.
So cute. And then bring that back. So basically we're just working on creating those repeating circles.
Clever says, don't look at the sun.
Yeah, that's so true. Gosh, we are promoting all kinds of craziness
tip.
today. Maybe we need some sunglasses on the sun.
Yes.
Round 2. Maybe next time I go live, then we'll work on
Adobe
design.
Live sunglasses. So cute.
That would be cute.
I would wear them.
I like it. Okay, and now we gotta make this border a little less thick. Oh my gosh, 46. That's opposite of what I wanted to do. Let's do 2. Sure, that's good enough. That's like still a little bit
Yeah,
thick
that one
for
feels
me.
a lot. Yeah. It feels
Okay.
A lot. Cute.
Let's
I love
see.
this.
I want this. I have all the circles selected now. I just going to scale this up. And now I want to add the name of the festival. So coastline and then the year. I think I'll just do 24.
Yeah.
Because we'll say it's happening this summer. Why
As
not?
It should.
All right. And then I think I want to go back and use... Honestly, I'm just going to copy this because I like the weight of this.
Yeah,
I like
looks
bold. And 2, I think it's important with just designing anything is not having too many like variations of like
Yeah.
fonts, font weights,
Yeah.
font variations. I think it's nice just to keep that limited so it feels more consistent.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Okay, coastline, and then I'm going to do the little apostrophe 24, and let's make this a little bit bigger. This is another thing I like, is just being able to like scale up
Yes,
the text
it
by,
is so helpful.
instead of like having to guess a numeric value.
Yeah.
Super, super handy. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And honestly, like this can be a little bit smaller so it fits nicely. And then I'm going to make sure this is all centered. I'll group that together. Okay, optically, I think this needs to go down a little bit because you can see in the text box, there's just like
There's
a little
more
bit of
space.
space.
Yeah,
I'm going to get
for
a drink
sure.
of water too. Brief intermission. Okay, now that we've gotten that down, I was thinking the circles could kind of like pop on screen.
Yes.
Kind of like sun rays, but a little bit more abstract than that. So I'm going to start with, maybe we can have the white circle and the text already on and then just add in these.
The circles, yeah.
That way no one has to wait to see like the main call to
Yes.
action text.
Yeah.
It's just like a little extra pizzazz,
Yeah.
if
I
you
think
will.
that's so fun.
Okay, let's animate on first the yellow sun. So we got to make sure it's after the scene transition has gone on. So there, let's see, right around here, I think is when we can have this come in. So I'm going to drag this, and the one in animation I really like was pop. Isn't that cute?
I love that one.
I think that's fun. And maybe I can, let's add this to half a second just to kind of match. Also, I want an even number there. But the duration just like adds a little bit more time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cute.
As duration infers. I'm sure you could have guessed that it adds more time. And before this finishes snapping into place, you can see that subtly right there. I want to then start the animation for the next ring.
Before it ends, yeah.
Yeah, just so it doesn't feel like as choppy. It's a little bit smoother.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I'm just going to drag, and it snaps right there. This is going to drive me crazy that I don't remember what the name of that is.
I If anyone knows.
Yeah, if you know in the chat, I'm
I've
sure.
always just called it a cursor, but I don't know if that's actually what
It's something with the
it's called.
timeline. I don't know. My
Yeah.
high school video editing class skills are I'm stuck and not
I'm
remembering.
sure someone in the chat knows. They
Yeah.
always know way more.
Jacob probably knows. Jacob? Nope, he doesn't know. Okay, let's see. Pop, and then we'll just make sure that we apply the same
Perfect.
effects. And same with here. You can play with the personality. So if you want it to be soft, if you want it to be loud. I like strong. We did strong for the scene transition, so I think it's probably good to keep that consistent.
It fits.
So look, that looks honestly so nice. And this would take me an embarrassing amount of time to figure that out in After Effects. Like, it's such a simple transition. So since I'm not doing anything too complex with animation, might as well just bring all my assets into Express and do it there instead.
Yes. And the awesome thing with Express, too, is if you have the app on your phone, you can go back and forth. So
true.
What if, like, you know, you're about to post an Instagram reel, but one of the artists just canceled? You can just go in, delete their name, and still post it without having to, like, go back into your computer. And,
And it's good for testing, too, to make sure, like, I know while we design on the screen, like, the type, or on the computer screen, like, the type sizes
you want to
can
make
look
sure
fine.
it's legible so you can see it on your phone.
Absolutely. So since you can just
Amazing.
open it straight away into Express for your phone, I think that's a really smart call.
It's so helpful.
Always good to check all your boxes before you hit publish on TikTok.
Yes.
Okay, so I adjusted this last little circle here, and you know the drill. We're going to do 0.5 seconds and 20. And I don't think I want this entire scene to be this long. I think it makes sense to have this as 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think let's play it through and determine
how
because
long we actually want it to be.
a quick headline, and we still want whoever's viewing this to stay around for the rest of the video.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we got all the songs coming on. I think honestly we could cut it there.
Yeah, I think so too.
So let's just make this a little bit shorter. So it's the same as changing the duration of any of the elements. You just are dragging and sliding it to the left. Super intuitive.
So easy.
Okay, so now that we got that, then it slides.
Cute. That looks so
Perfect.
good.
That looks great.
I love it.
And I think I want to just kind of almost chop this in half.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, I like watching shorter TikToks.
Yeah, me too.
I think there's
especially something like this. Like,
Yeah.
get to the info that I need. Tell me how to get tickets.
Exactly.
I don't need, too much.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think that's looking really cute.
Love it.
So now I'm going to add another scene. And this one, I want it to talk about ticket sales specifically.
Perfect.
And I have some really cute assets from my library that I want to bring in. Last stream, I created these really cute little wristbands using our branding. So I think these would be really fun to bring in. So that's one, and that one, two. They're super tiny. So we need to grab these and scale them up. And I selected both of them together because I want them to be the same size. But yeah, you can see like I got a little VIP wristband and then a GA wristband. And they're using those two cute gradients that I have in my brand system. So these are kind of like, you're not getting a physical ticket. We're in 2024. It's probably in your Apple Wallet or Ticketmaster or whatever app we're using. But I feel like everyone always has a wristband.
Yes, for sure.
So I think these would be fun to like bring in as a little like decorative element. Let's see. I want the VIP part to show here. So I rotated that to 15 degrees. I think that's nice and subtle. Let's see, this one here too. And I like kind of the end of that because that really makes it feel like it's a ticket, you know what it is. Yeah. Okay,
Cute.
and I'm gonna bring back in that gradient that I've been locking on every page. Honestly, the probably easier thing to do would just be to create all four scenes and then like paste this right away or duplicate them. But
I think it went into a new scene.
yeah, I was just showing how No, you're all good. You're all good. It was just showing like what you could do if you were.
I didn't realize you were demoing it as you were saying it, which is
no, it's okay.
Wonderful. I'm
but
glad
spoiler alert for the last scene. I think I want to have a video in the background, but stay tuned.
Okay.
We're not quite there yet.
Let's see.
Okay, so now I have my tickets. Again, I'm gonna lock this, and then I think I want some like repeating text that say like ticket sales, or not ticket sales, tickets on sale now.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I kind of like the repetition of the circles.
Cute.
You know, we are all about the design principles. So let's keep going with the principle, and let's copy the coastline text. And let's see. I want this to be super big. I want tickets, I think, to be
really eye-catching.
Yeah. And then we'll have on sale now is the secondary type. I wonder, too, since we use that condensed version of the font up here.
Maybe we could use that.
Yeah, so then we can kind of keep it all...
on one line.
Yeah, on one line. Thank you.
Yes.
Read my mind.
Yes.
It's sometimes tricky with adding text in a vertical format, especially for mobile.
It really is.
It just limits your space.
Yeah.
And so, again, like, as big as you can make it is usually, like, a good solution. Okay, I think I just did regular condensed. And let's make this even bigger. I want these to be about the same width. I think that looks pretty good.
Pretty even.
Yeah. I'm going to add some more space between those two. And let's group this. And then I'm just going to option click and drag. And I want my guides to show up so that I can center it. See, there you go. Perfect.
Ask and you shall receive.
Exactly. And then I think I want the like wristbands to kind of like
cute. Yes.
You know what I mean?
I love
kind of
that.
hide it so it like you get an idea that it's repeating. I kind of wonder maybe this isn't what we're going for, but if I ungroup it, and what if I made the spacing even between all of the lines of text?
Let's see. Might as well try.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to try, and super easy to fix if we don't like it. So I'm just selecting now the individual text boxes, so I ungroup them, going to the align tool, and then vertically distributing them. I kind of like that.
It looks good.
Do you like that?
I like it. I think it looks really good.
I think it's kind of nice because then it fills up the screen a little bit better.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, now that we have that, let's see. How do we want to animate this? Oh, I forgot. Duh. We need to make sure our transition is applied. So we did push before up, and I think we did strong.
Should we do it a different way, or do you want to keep the same?
Let's try it. Let's try it a different direction.
Just to mix it up.
Yeah, so I
keep them on their toes.
did it up before, and then this could be down.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can just go ahead and add the transition for our final scene, which we could do back to up.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like rotating back and forth. I like that.
I think
that's not as boring.
Really fun. Yes.
All right, let's see. And then I think, should we just animate the wristbands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Do we want, a spin, a tumble. These are all really fun to just play around with.
You could do a looping too.
True. Let's see. Blinking. And you can see I'm just hovering over these thumbnails. I haven't committed to anything. That kind of stresses me out.
It's kind of intense.
We did do the bob animation before.
We did.
What does that look like? That's kind of fun. It kind of reminds me of the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do it to the bottom one too. That was a looping. Some of these are really fun to look at.
They are.
Like I don't always think it's like right for what I'm doing, but
good to keep in mind, you know.
Yeah, for sure. How does it look? Let's see if it looks too overwhelming now that we have both. That's kind of fun. I think we should slow it down.
Yeah, it's a little fast.
Yes, I agree. So, just clicking on the editor, speed, what do we think? A little bit slower.
Yeah.
even slower.
Maybe
I think
a 10?
a 10. Yeah, and intensity. Maybe we can have the intensity match.
Sure. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That looks good. I love that.
So I like that we're kind of mixing, like animating the type, animating the graphic elements, and bringing everything in from my library. And this is all so easy, just a bunch of animations to create one really cool TikTok, all within Adobe Express. So let's just make sure this matches, and then I want to make sure we have time to show you one more fun little way that I like to use the stock library within Express. So let's see. All right, and then I think probably, let's say at like 9 seconds. Yeah. It might, at the end too, if we decide it's
we can
like,
trim it down.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't want anything to be on screen for too many times. Also, I think it's nice to design without any audio or like music first, because just like do yourself a favor. Otherwise, you're going to be like driving yourself crazy listening to the same clip over and over again.
Over and over.
Especially if your TikTok is longer. Yeah. I don't want to like get sick of my favorite song that I'm using for my video.
Yes.
Okay, last but not least, let's go into media. And I have Express Premium, which I highly recommend, because then you get access to all these different video, audio, and photo clips.
Yes.
Yeah, which is really great. And also, if I wanted to generate an image, you can easily use text to image within Express. But I think using a video as like a background is a super nice way to add motion to any TikTok video, especially like, for instance, this example, this is a template from Express that I pulled up just for inspo. But you can see this like background has motion.
Eye-catching, yeah.
And it's literally just a video from stock with some adjustments applied. So if you see something you like, it's not exactly what you want, you can play with all these levels. Yeah. Super basic adjustments to the color. You could also probably play with the effects and get like a duotone, or you could customize it and then like apply a swatch. So let's say
into your brand colors that are right there.
Exactly, right into my brand colors. So I think adding a video is actually a great way to add texture, dimension without you really having to create anything complicated on your own.
Yeah.
So I was thinking some ocean waves, because the festival is called Coastline. It was at the beach in Pacifica. Have you ever been to Pacifica?
Yes, I love Pacifica.
Gorgeous little beach town in California. So I think some waves would be, got all caps on, would be good just to kind of round out the video, and also just make sure things look a little bit different, a little bit playful, to keep you engaged throughout the whole video. And I know in the stream earlier today, everyone was using some really fun videos of their own. So if you had some of you like your own clips from the festival, absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like this one. And it's vertical too, which is really nice. Because sometimes with scaling up videos for the vertical format, it can get like a little bit pixelated, but this is nice that this is already vertical. And I don't really think I want the surfer in it, but I really, really like the wave kind of crashing in the background. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool. That's beautiful.
So what I'm going to do is, this is, first of all, a long video. I think it just loops though, to be fair. So I don't want it to be quite that long. And let's just go ahead and crop this before I add any of our decorative elements on top. So I'll wait till the surfer's like kind of in the middle, because I think I'm going to cover it up.
Yeah, with the graphic.
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So then we can just get the effect of like the cool ocean wave. And so another thing that I went ahead and saved within my library, I believe, let's go and look, is the festival poster. Now it's not going to be legible at this size, but I think this just like reinforces the branding.
Yes.
And it's pretty. It kind of ties it all together.
I love it.
So I'm just going to center it on the page. And I originally had created this in Illustrator, and all I did was I grouped everything together, and then I flattened the transparency, and then you can literally drag and drop it into your library within Illustrator, and then it saves it like as a PNG, so as a graphic. So none of this text is live. Everything is flat, so you don't have to worry about distorting anything. But that's a really like quick and easy way for you to basically not have to export like a bunch of PNGs and like upload things. You can just drag it right into your library.
Yeah.
So I think this looks cute, and I think I just want this to be on screen, and then as the wave is crashing, I think it'd be fun if like a bunch of posters were just like popping up in the background.
Cute. I love that.
Yeah, I think it would be cute too. So I'm just gonna option click, and then I think I'm just gonna rotate it.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure this is layered behind. So again with the hotkey, and I think, let's see, I'll wait until
it's fully on.
Yeah, till it's like fully snapped, and then make sure to bring it back in, and then I'll just option click and drag. And then the nice thing is all of that timing work is kind of already done for me.
Gosh, yeah.
So now let's just fill up the page. And I think, what did we say? Half a second was a good amount of time. Okay, cool. Let's get this done so we can see the final product. Okay.
I'm so excited to see it.
Me too. I think it's fun because it's basically like a bunch of little compositions in one. Like you could totally export these as separate videos.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you really could. And then just like some quick little stories or something.
Extra content.
Yes,
for sure.
We love repurposing content.
Honestly, like thinking of it kind of like a commercial on TV. Like they're reusing their, whatever they need for their commercial all the time.
Smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Okay, so now this is going to be, let's see, I can't remember.
We have about 5 more minutes.
Yes.
So if you have any last questions, please drop them into the chat.
Or suggestions of things that I could think about for next time.
Yes, absolutely. And this entire day of streaming will be available as a replay, both on Behance and on YouTube. So if you missed the earlier streams, you can definitely check those out. There's some really great content. Like Emma was saying, there was some fun video streams and kind of like vloggy day in the life kind of stuff, which is always so fun.
Yeah, I love to see Brittney's day in the life.
Yes.
I'm like, my influencer dreams. Guys, make it happen. Just kidding. I have like nothing on TikTok. But this can be my start. This can be my start.
Your inspiration. So definitely watch those replays if you didn't get to watch earlier today. That will all be available for you.
Yes, be sure to do that. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to select these all and add a little pop animation.
Cute.
And let's see what this looks like, because they should all pop in at different times. Oh, how cute. And now in theory, I'd probably speed that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, should we watch from the beginning?
I mean, you have 4 minutes, so if you want to speed it up a little bit.
Okay, fine. Let's speed it up.
As well.
While I have you here. And I think kind of as I've been doing this, honestly, on this stream, I think it would be really easy to...
I think you should. Yeah.
Let's see. 20 intensity, I think was what we did before.
I think so.
And maybe if the duration is like
shorter.
Yeah. A quarter of a second. All right, let's see.
Oh, I love this.
Whoops. Oh, I'm hitting my space bar. That's Premiere. All right, there we go. So cute.
Fun.
All right, so let's see from the top.
All right, let's see it.
All right, all of the song titles that you all came up
beautiful
with.
Waves.
Come to Coastline 2024. Get your tickets.
I love this lighting.
Pop. Love it.
I love that. I don't play enough with the transitions between the frames. I kind of forget that that's a thing.
And it's so easy to do.
And it makes such a big impact.
I agree.
So thank you for reminding me of that.
Of course. And I think the cherry on the top was, or at the end would be adding music from the TikTok commercial library.
Yes.
Any of your favorite hits are available to you. And then the nice thing is, I don't even have to leave Express to be able to export this to TikTok. So you just go to share TikTok, and there's all these different features. So your video will start to process. That might take a little bit of time, but definitely faster than like downloading it and then bringing it into your phone and then uploading.
And you could even schedule it directly from Express too onto Instagram. And it's such a great tool.
All these built-in tools, so you can just do it all right here within Adobe Express. Thank you all so much for joining us today and creating lots of different TikTok content. Ellie, I've had so much fun with you.
Oh my gosh, what
it's
a
so
great
fun to
time.
meet you.
I know. It was so fun. Thank you for all of your great tips.
Of course.
I love seeing it all come together. Make sure that you try the new add-on, the TikTok Symphony Assistant.
Yes.
Play around with it. Let us know what you guys think. And up next, we have Sin Lagos with hidden tools in Premiere. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye. Thanks for joining.